fucks. A cocksucker haters face so hard they need a new job. Born an asshole, it was not my choice. Spitfire, deaf bitches wanna fuck my voice. The music starts, turn it off like fuck that noise. Puts a stick like fish, so I guess I fuck that coin. Hitting my pipes, then the blue man grew. Cause I'm doing this shit, don't mean you can't too. Strap it to get like Cool Hand Luke. Fuck the hairy Asian bitch with it, push it like a Fu Manchu. Bitch, I'll climb a ladder with no hands. Came on your bitch's face, she looking like a snowman. Yeah, I'm living the future, you got no plan. Roll my blunts fucking fatter than Roseanne. Fuck that grand bitch, I got a forest on me. Crew brain dead, we looking like a horde of zombies. Mighty Morphin bitch, I got that fucking sword in on me. Buck shots, give me the bottle, bitch, I'll pour it on me. Can't comprehend what's going on, I'm too gone. This ain't my face, bitch, this ugly face is glued on. Bought a 3-star off a fucking Groupon. I'm a broke kid running game with no shoes on. I don't rap and smack my dick on the mic. Sell 500 tracks on me, ripping a pipe. Motherfucker, I'm sick on the mic. Get a DP revive when they get spun on some white. Go rougher than bong hits with no water. How the fuck you worship a book with no author? Killing so much rappers, bitch, this is a slaughter. Anton doesn't tell these daddies to hide their fucking daughters. Little bitch, yeah, that's you. Heard you got hooked up a little bit of ammo, kid. I got some bad news. You fly like a plane, I'll crash you. Run your motor mouth, bitch, I'll smack you. I go ape shit on your wax, you. Throw my shit, pick up my chest like a baboon. What you want, a black Jew that rap scenes and acts too. Fuck that gay shit, pass through, and y'all facts bigger than statues. School here, this my classroom, but your mixtape sitting in the bathroom. Fuck y'all and y'all values. Check a vodka, pop a value. Bad news, Illuminati. Ratchets here to pollute your mind frame, so lose your psychic. Who can I think? Every day talking to the music I make, when losing I think. You can kindly suck my dick till shoes to slime me, or broke and fight me. Coming out your bitch with my fresh rare case, you can buy my Nike. Better than me, bitch, that's unlikely. Are you psycho? I might be slightly better picture for the future, so I might decide me. But I feel like I got bitch, Bruce Almighty. I need a lobotomy, my mind is frightening. Underground bitch, so it's time for writing. Run independent shit, no time for signing. For your running bitch, I couldn't give a fuck if you like me. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not use it here? Goddamn it, bitch, trying to get the lunatic. I'm a lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. Lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn it, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn it, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn it, got lunatic, goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. You a psycho, fuck you, bitch, I know. Where the fuck did my mind go? I'm on a tightrope with a blindfold. Running mid stage, you a sideshow. Bitch, you ain't big shit, you a silo. I'm fucking like I don't script with a typo. You all used up and recycle. Oh my god, grab your Bible. Now all your friends and rivals. That's here when it's coming with a title. Bitch, I've been doing all the shit with my eyes closed. Never ever leaving with a nightfall. Then I'm dancing on the corpse so prideful. Now I'm a idol, it's survival. Fuck bitch, motherfucker, I'm primal. I know, I embrace the hate. Killing motherfuckers, I erase the fake. And I wake and bake cause I hate the day. Screaming fucking super earth, bitch, I hate this place. He's a waste of space. Cut out mundane and plain. I'll be sensitive to race when I raise a blade. Fill a bucket full of blood as I drain your veins. Can contain insane. You gotta train your brain. If you're aiming at the fame, you gotta change your lane. Play the game. If I hit no one bitch, then just back his fucking face when I play the stake. Gotta cake the snakes. I'm a hungry motherfucker finna take the cake. And a super porty bitch, so stay awake. Rappers gonna die back, fly to the top for your place on stage. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not could use it here? Goddamn it, bitch, trying to get the lunatic. I'm a lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. Lunatic, got lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick. Goddamn it, got lunatic. Got lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick. Goddamn it, got lunatic. Got lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lick, I'm a lick. Goddamn it, got lunatic. Goddamn it, I'm a lunatic. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not could use it here? goddamn, I'm a lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic, bitch, I'm a fuck. I hope you understand. Shit on the track and I wreck the sound. Getting booty with a band of pirates. I'm a grown ass man, but I act so childish. You gonna stick verse with a blood in my mouth. How about some black hers what I'm talking about? As soon as I arrive, bitch, you're walking back out. If you wanna talk shit, keep my name out your mouth, bitch. What the fuck would you want me to talk about? With your shit, cash in and ball now. Fuck that, that's the shit that I laugh about. Smoke up, don't pass, and they're blocking her. Bitch, snap and break you like a bitter cell. Deliver this message to dragon, tell him kill himself. Hot box a hollow tree with some killer elves. Fuck a label independent, I'ma keep it well. Hope you understand. Fuck is the plan? Got a blunt in my hand. Got bomb like Japan. Hope you understand. Fucking the man. You don't understand. Hold your hand. Hope you understand. Fucking all black, coming Darth Vader. Swinging my dick like a fucking lightsaber. Pussy ass rapper got him shaking like a vibrator. Tether than an ice skater skating on a skyscraper. Mindset of a mental vision that been cut loose. Kill a faggot with another doing kung fu. Shorty bitch with super stroker full of cum juice. And if you hate on me, then fuck you. Get hotter than the Middle East. I want to major bitch juices in the little league. Your granny's gonna find your body in a little creek. Hit a blunt, hit a bitch, then I hit the beat. Pockets on hella killing, you'll never speak. Smoking weed in public, rag never ever tweaks. Squeaky clean weed on me, but I never reek. Bitch versus freak, hot as hell, bitch, you ain't deep. Hope you understand. I hope you understand. Fuck is the plan? Got a blunt in my hand. Got bomb like Japan. Hope you understand. Fucking the man. You don't understand. Hold your hand. Hope you understand. Fuck is the plan? Got a blunt in my hand. Got bomb like Japan. Hope you understand. Fucking the man. You don't understand. Hold your hand. Hope you understand. Hope you understand. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Better get this bitch like it's motherfucking tired of me. They get it in my head from a multiple lobotomies. I burned out and ready when you better got some monster drip that got my own ball rolling and nobody stopping me. Spit the raw shit, my saliva must be hot to see the rapping fabricated. Just so hard enough to see the seam started from the fucking bottom, hard enough to say the least. So I'm smoking weed, bursting off these faggots, hate me. Radic, why do you wanna do this? Fucking bitch because I love music. To hate me cause I'm not a dumb bitch. Brainwashed like a trained dog with a fucking chain on my neck. No cage on my head, my patience is left. Underground bitch, so I say that I'm dead. All the way to kill this crazy motherfucking kid. Shoot me in the face and stab a fucking snake in my chest. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Fuck this 9 to 5, shit, it's eating me alive. I'm working away my life, fast, sick by a ride. Got no weed up in my pipe, no money to get by. Someone shine me alive, fuck, I feel like I could die. My limit's at the sky, waving at the game by. These pussy rappers are coming out, talentless and dry. They sell you their lies, bullshit, why you not your hand to buy and buy? They don't even gotta try. Here's a flash and here's a little flicker. Picture a glass, a picture with a little bit of liquor. Put it to your kids and let that bitter mix so they're like a river in your liver. Can they kill it? Are you feeling richer or sicker? Bitch, watch me like my swisher. Watch me rip my Richard out, stick it in your sister. Disaster to the system, I'm attracted with some soul. Listen, bitch, before you become a victim of the prison. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. You blind fuckers can't see through the fog. You need to evolve, cause you're fucking crazy if you believe in a God. Here's my sign. clearly a fraud. Every other motherfucker in the world is flawed, but they still get appalled when they see me as odd. But you know that I'm raw, I just needed the thaw. I'm the motherfucking shit from the knees of my jaw. Fucking shit, ran and sick of being patient. I can take it, wicked, make it beats up in my bitch. So will I ever fucking make it underrated with no payment and it's plain days hate all the shit that I've created? Smoking weed like I'm Jamaican. Your brain is vacant, you were born to be misshapen. And I'm a pagan, so don't worry about me. Cause smoking my weed, just believe me when I say it. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm smoking my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm smoking my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm smoking my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, ho. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm smoking my weed, bitch.
Of Nickelback, that was just mind-blowing to see, to have him pop off like that. Just incredible stuff.
I believe he had about 60 kills across 2 maps as as Nickelback, and you know, having your stand-in do that, that's great, that's awesome, but is that consistent? And that's going to be the perpetual question mark. At the same time though, Syman Gaming going up against Hard Legion, well, that was a pretty exciting game there and then as well. Went to the full distance, it went to 3, and Syman honestly kind of destroyed Hard Legion. They 16-3 them on Train. They lost to them in Dust 2, sure, 16-12. But then Overpass came around and they 16-5 them. And Hard Legion is an incredibly good team. They were directly invited into the quarterfinals. Syman, on the other hand, have had to grind all their way through to get here. And now that they're here, they don't plan on going anywhere.
Oh yeah, Syman has had such good performances, and they're one of those teams that truly show a lot of structure, and this is where I think that Winstrike might face some issues. Sure, they had really good performances with their stand-in, but that's something that is so difficult to replicate. You can't bank on your stand-in popping off time and time again, and this might be something that surfaces when we talk about this match.
Well, let's take a look at their lineups as well. I'm sure there's a lot of things to discuss over there, because what I want to point out very quickly from Winstrike is not just about their stand-in popping up. It's also a little bit about the fact that Elian, who is of course now their primary opper, was doing some interesting things, to say the least. He was hitting a lot of his crazy shots, but he was missing all of his easy ones, so it seemed like. And that doesn't really fly when you're going up against Syman. That doesn't really fly when you're going up against Mo, because then you're giving up too much of an advantage. Izako Boars, all hats off to them for making it to the quarterfinals, but individually speaking, you can argue that Syman is a significantly more skilled team just on an individual basis. So Elian will be punished a lot more than he was before. Now, at the same time, do want to give some love to Lackey as well. I think he played the game phenomenally well. I think overall they actually had quite a few great moments from them, considering the fact that they have a stand-in. But now on the other side, there's Syman. I mean, I'll let you take it away on them, because I know you've got quite a few things to say.
Oh yeah, obviously a very experienced team. The one shaky bit that we did see from them throughout their run was the fact that up against their performance when they were up against Aves, I believe, you saw that they consistently relied on having that comeback pull through. So we didn't see great performances to start off. They didn't pop off too well early on, but overall, the way we've seen Syman approach this game, they seem to have very strong performances. As you've already mentioned, up against Tiki Taka and up against Hard Legion, they've had phenomenal work done. Meanwhile, though, on the Winstrike side, they've been decimated by the likes of Tiki Taka. And I think that's generally I don't have this kind of train of logic where I go like, okay, team A beats B, therefore it should beat C, whatever. But Tiki Taka is one of those teams that I feel like it might actually apply to, because of just the way they play, just the way they have those individuals popping off.
Tiki Taka is a very individually based team, actually. I think they're a very good yardstick to see exactly how effective your individuals can be, because they're just an interesting team. But Tiki Taka is not the team that we're here to talk about. The other team that, of course, we have to talk about, and the other thing we have to talk about, is Winstrike and their vetoes or lack thereof. And that's where we'll jump back to the cams. We'll show you guys the vetoes, and we can tell you what exactly is going on over there. But Winstrike doesn't really have favorable matchups with Syman when you consider everything. So you can look at things: Vertigo, standard ban coming out from Syman, similarly Inferno taken away by Winstrike. And that's where it already gets touchy, because Winstrike, the second you're having to ban Inferno as your first map ban, that's not great. Inferno is not a first pick for many teams. Inferno is generally a decider pick for most teams and whatnot. You know, it's a map that so many people play that it feels like you need to have it in your repertoire. But Inferno Band comes in, Train picked up by Syman Gaming, a map that they are absolutely stunning on, by the way. Nuke from Winstrike, and then, you know, Dust to Overpause, Bandad, the Deciders, Mirage. I don't know about this, Wild Eddie. This looks pretty scary to me.
Yeah, for Syman to go up against Winstrike on Train, I think it's a pretty convincing argument to be made for Syman taking that very heavily, quite easily. But when it comes down to Nuke, there's a pretty large sample size to be going off.
Oh, I think we've lost him. You know what? We haven't unfortunately lost Wild Eddie. I think he's coming back in just a second. However, I'll just take over what he was saying at that stage. Of course, there's a pretty large sample size to go off of for Syman and Nuke. So they haven't really done all too well. I'm just checking to make sure that my internet is working as well. Okay, cool. My internet is working. It's just Wild Eddie who will be the orange screen. No worries. So point is, at the end of the day, we do, of course, have... oh, just checking. Oh, all right. We're going to be jumping into the game in just a second as well. I just realized that I'm having some microphone issues. So I'm going to take a second to refresh that as well. And meanwhile, what we're going to do is we'll show you guys the brackets once again for the playoffs. And then while I very quickly refresh my mic, it's just pressing a button very quickly. You guys can look at that. Well, now, hopefully that's fixed it. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're going to be fine. Point is, we do have ourselves the Nuke pick coming in. Winstrike, that should be a 100% win. Now, the problem there that comes in is that although I say that Winstrike or Nuke themselves have lost quite a few somewhat upsetting matches, and they've actually gone very close with Syman before. Winstrike won against Syman, but it was a 16-13 win, and considering that Syman themselves, Nuke is one of their weakest maps, actually the weakest map for them, so I don't really say they've got much. We're going to be heading into the knife round as well very quickly, so we can get things underway, and we'll see who can actually start off on the CT side. So Winstrike will be able to start things off on CT side, which is probably fortunate for them. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that although Winstrike themselves have not played Train very often in the past few months, Train is, I've been told that Train is one of those CIS maps, which is just generally played a lot, like Cash was back in the day for, you know, a lot of the West, Mirages for pretty much everyone in the world. It's just one of those maps which people play often. So between CIS teams, you're almost never going to have a boring match. Now, we'll start things off with Krisen and Bondik both going for utility. And remember, in the meanwhile, you can actually go over to the esm.grid.gg to figure out what exactly are the results of the Esports Millions giveaway, as we will be telling you more about that as well later on. So, Krisen and Bondik both starting off with utility early on. And it's not just utility, it's actually two sets of nades, which could be doing a lot of damage should they elect to go in towards B or towards Ivy. And it does look like a B push is nigh. And quite a bit of noise has also been made towards Highway by Norbert, who just rushed there. So Krisen does have some information. Some rotations are being cheated back. Norbert thinks he's cleared this angle out, but he needs to be careful because Elian's right around that corner at this point. There's 3 CT players here already. Elian's waiting for the peak to come through. He's spamming away with the USB, but he's not landing his shots, and he will be dinked down and brought down. Elian and Bondik both to fall. Krisen trying to respond as he moves in, will get the first, but the trade is immediate, leaving Nickelback in a 1 versus 4. That simply cannot happen. But I say that Nickelback comes through with 2 kills immediately. Seems like he's not quite ready to give up his hot streak of form from yesterday. And this will be maybe fool's gold. Nickelback waiting for any sort of aggression to come up from the T side. He's making quite a bit of noise as well. He's given away his position. The first duel's coming in, but he just can't go for it. Norbert, at best, he can get the fade away, and he does indeed do that. But remember, he's got full armor and $1,000, so if you can save that moving forward, that's actually quite valuable on the CT side. Can he get the last kill, though? That's the question. And I don't think he'll be given the opportunity or be wanting to take that opportunity. 1-0 for Syman. Nickelback does have quite a bit of extra money, so if you want to have him just buy up something like a farmers or so in the force buy, that could get interesting. Let's see what they elect to go for. And I believe we have Wild 80 back in the studio with us.
Hello there. It is I. Technical difficulty. Yet again. But yeah, it's very nice to see Nickelback popping off straight from the start. Sure, they didn't get the round on the side of Winstrike, but still, 3 kills in the pistol round. Solid stuff being done. Syman now, they have a fair bit of weaponry. Kiosk already losing a little bit of HP to the graze of the bullet coming through with the scout. The spam doesn't quite connect as Lackey tries to pull through. CZ75 comes in clutch as he's trying to spam around the short ladder. 5 versus 4, but there is so little HP on Lackey and Bondic. 1 AK has been recovered, and I believe he will be passing that over very soon.
Well, Elvin's picked that up for himself. And we know he can be a dab hand on it, but Norbert's come out, gets 1. Nickelback immediately trades away. Still do have 2 players on low HP, but at the same time, Syman, you know, now you're teetering around the edge of contention. Now you're teetering around, hey, are we really going to be able to get this one out and about? Because you've got Krisen with the Deagle on the B-bomb site. Kiosk is in one-shot territory for the Deagle, 1 body shot. Mo, up close and personal, I'm not sure, but I think you can do 56 damage with the Deagle close. I'll have to check with you about that later, Wild 80, because right now actions are beginning, and it will be a mini B-side execute with just a smoke going over towards connector.
Syman, 30 seconds on the clock. They're pushing in. Lackey will be the first to fall, but Krisen is still alive. He's waiting for these players to make their move. He hasn't given up his position just yet. Doesn't quite land that shot, and that'll leave them in a 2-on-3. Nickelback, he has the FAMAS, he has armor. Alien should be able to run away with the AK as well, so I don't think this is the wisest of decisions if they do decide to go for it. No kit on them either, so they're looking for these headshots.
In all fairness, it is Alien, so you sort of expect him to go for that.
Yeah, with 6 HP, you'd expect him to hit all of those nutty shots, but sometimes when he's just sitting there with 100 HP, 8 WP in hand, having the time of his life, those
I feel like there's
really
some players who, when they're on 6 HP, they basically say, well, you know, technically 6 HP is the same as 25 HP. I say die in 1 hit, so would I have gone in on this on 25 HP? Well, 25 HP would be pretty close to 40 HP, so
yeah.
Yeah,
and then that's kind of close to 80, and maybe that's pretty much full HP, yeah. 5 HP equals to full HP. That makes a lot of sense.
pretty much. I'm not saying Alien's like that, but I'm just saying there are definitely some
That's
pro
me
players.
right there in every single matchmaking game that I've cursed you to play with me.
Well, forget about your matchmaking because it is the semifinals and Winstrike are not starting things off pretty, but they did get quite a bit of damage in. Unfortunately for them, that might end up biting them because now you've got 2 SMGs pulled out on Syman's end, and maybe, just maybe, they can start to farm up some cash.
Yeah, Norbert and Kiosk with their SMGs, they're making their way towards Ivy. We'll start to see Norbert towards the short ladder. Better have SMGs on 2 different angles, if anything. Syman taking things slow. Coming up Ivy now. Alien, great position for him to potentially contest this, but Kiosk will come out on top with the UMP in hand. Alien first to fall, and Krisen will be the second line of defense coming towards CT, but Nickelback is trying to maneuver around the smoke. He spots the player, he picks up the kill, tries to peek around the corner for more information, but won't risk it biscuit.
Oh, Norbert. Just ducking down very quickly. I don't know if he's been noticed. Yes, he has. Lackey can find that kill, eliminate him. And again, Syman in the man disadvantage.
Syman, they're expected to be winning this round, but there's still a gun on the side in the hands of Nickelback, who's boosted up, gets a few shots in, and with Kiosk and Ilan so low on HP, this is going to be a tough call. The bomb goes down without being planted. Lackey picks up the second with Nickelback chiming in. That's the first round on the board for Winstrike. So nicely done to interrupt the bomb plant. Perfect placement, and Syman weren't really able to hit the shots there.
excellent round coming out from Winstrike to get themselves on the board, and it's also at the opportune moment to capitalize on the fact that they did lower the T-side economy substantially in the previous one as well. So Winstrike off the back of this could feasibly start to look into, you know, potentially a 4-2 territory even if things work out well.
Winstrike, on the other hand, they're starting to look a little bit more like the T side now, considering the fact that they're holding on to 2 AKs and they have pretty decent bank built up as well. Those are weapons that they snatched from the hands of the T side. Lackey, so up close. Perfect angle for the Mac 10 to be finding. His head gets found out as well, but he's not going to take enough damage to be taken down. Syman already on the man disadvantage. They still have Nealon as a saving grace. The firepower should come through. But it will come through from Nickelback instead, who is able to shut down Norbert. Comes down to a 2 versus 5. Kiosk has snuck through the cracks. He's almost on the back lines already. Hasn't given up any audio information either, so he's able to pick up 1. But meanwhile, I think he has gotten the first and the second, and there's a tie-up.
The unfortunate thing for Syman in that situation was that I believe if Mo had an AWP, he would have gotten that kill, and it's not because of the obvious, oh, if I have an op, I get killed because op does more damage. It's actually because Mo strafed a little bit preemptively while he was hitting the shot, and because the scout's acceleration is a lot more than the op's acceleration, the shot ended up going through the wall and hitting the head instead. If it was an op just because of the slow speed, and because of the fact that you still have some accuracy for just, you know, that split tenth of a second or so when you're going in, and hold that thought. Alien, nice shot into Mo, will be re-peeking out, but Kios will find him, and that's at least a kill coming through from the T side. Can they find any more damage is the question, and it's very speedily looking like the answer to that is no. But like I said, Mo slightly unlucky in that round, and now at the very least they do get 3 kills now, actually. Suddenly very expensive.
That's a little dangerous because Neal's been given the privilege of having an AK-47. Smoke rolls out as well, so that's all the mobility he needs. No armor on him, so he'll try to make a play around the smoke. 2 angles to work with, but the audio cue has been given up. Still a minute on the clock, so he has all the time in the world. He'll take his time and slowly head towards B. But this is where he has to be careful, though, because as the audio cue is being given away, Karisen is able to sneak around him. He understands that he's getting crept up on, and he will quickly make his way to the B-bomb site. Plant should be relatively comfortable. Now the retake comes through.
Oh, this is going to be big, though. Nealon had a chance to take down Nickelback while Nickelback was coming out of Zcon. Unfortunately, Nickelback can come through and stab him in the back right there. But Syman made things look very, very doable and around there. You know, realistically, they had no right. Taking away 3 weapons to start with was so incredibly crucial. But now, even the bomb plant comes in. Let's not forget, this is not a bomb plant that's coming in when you have 2,400, 2,900 loss bonus. 3,400, 2,900 loss bonus. They had 2,400. So without this, your utility was feasibly going to be fairly stranglehold. And that's why I thought Winstrike should be able to get 2 of 4-2 off the back of the 1 eco that they won. But because of it, Syman now at the very least have a viable shot in contesting this round. So it all comes down to what Mo can do, because Elian started off the previous one. You know, he's generally been doing fairly well on the CT side of Train thus far. But it very much will be like, can Mo find these initial kills? And so far, with the flashbang coming in for Nickelback to check things, it looks like Elian is again going to be the one to break first blood.
Yeah, Elian has been very good so far. Mo, on the other hand, has yet to chime in with that AWP in his hands. Nealon was the only one that forfeited utility this time around. That still means that Syman have something to go off of, but they've pretty much already exhausted most of their utility. They only have 1 smoke and a Molotov in terms of creating space for themselves. Few flashbangs to work off of as well. Syman still hoping for that push to come through, hoping for the ability to get a pick here and there. Lackey, first line of defense, but the peek from Cade will be too fast and too furious. Elian, he has to hit this shot, and this time around he's not giving up those easy shots. He's been hitting the deathmatch after viewing the VOD. There it is, 3 versus 4. Cade gets a second entry. Now Elian has a big job on his hands.
40 seconds on the clock. Elian's waiting for them to come in. said he's been having a solid performance, but Crizin misses his shots, and that's going to be massive. Now Elian needs to land one on Cade. The information's been given away. Cade is coming down on top of him. Elian can't flick fast enough, and the 1v3 will not go his way. Third round coming in for Syman, and Crizin missing that shot was crucial. That could have completely changed things around, given Elian a lot more space to work with. And I want to say, Elian, really refreshing to see that, you know, he's not just the fact that he's not missing the easy shots, it's also, you can see how zoned in he is. The jiggle peek doesn't phase him at all. He doesn't get baited from the shoulder peek at all. He waits calmly, gets that second kill in neatly. He knows that he'll get it regardless of whether it's a full peek or a shoulder the second time over. And that was refreshing, but unfortunately just can't capitalize. And again, we see Elian starting things off with an advantage for the CT side. Winstrike. I don't know what they told him yesterday, but whatever they did, it was the right thing to say.
Yeah, definitely a very refreshing sight to see the way Elian's been playing, consistently able to get the first pick for his team, and that could be the difference maker that they need, especially when you're playing with the stand-in, to have that kind of firepower come through and make it that much easier. That's definitely something to hold out for. Nade goes through towards short ladder. Bondic will be making quick work of the soldier, pushing through though. 5-on-3, the terrorists can't seem to catch a break here. They don't have too much space to work off of, but Cade is not missing many shots. Solid 4K from him in the previous round. Let's see if he can replicate the successes of the past. Nickelback right behind the smoke, being supported by Crizin. They have to maneuver around these Molotovs because it's so much harder for them to try to land these shots. Cade comes around. The second entry will not come through this time around, but Mo is there to pick up the pieces. Crizin falls, and it comes to a 2-on-3. The flank, though! Bomb entirely being denied, and on the pressure of the time, they were forced to plant the bomb, but, well, flank works out.
Bondic in that round was so incredibly crucial, not just because of the flank at the very end, which is the obvious one, but the first kill that he finds towards Pop Dog, towards Short Ladder, which is where he immediately makes sure that no one can actually come in towards that A bomb site, because you don't have that second prong of attack. You don't have Ivy, you don't have Short Ladder. You basically only have T connectors, so there's not even a chance for them to rotate back. So, yes, some information also gained, but Winstrike feels so comfortable, and hold that thought, because Elian, okay, he misses that shot, but Winstrike feels so comfortable having so many players aggressively postured in B side in positions where rotating would actually take quite a while.
Yeah, it seems to be working out for them, as Syman do not have an answer just yet, but it hasn't been too long just yet. The utility coming out from the Syman side. They're looking to make a quick, aggressive B play. Flashes come out. Elian, unfazed, almost hits the shot there, but that's quite a bit of damage being done. Lackey just playing around with his firing range now, warming up his weapon. And that's just the last alive on the T side, trying to get the bomb down, and that could be the difference maker for the economy.
Well, their economy should be stable now. You know, you're on a fairly good loss bonus. I think it might be maxed out at this point. I'll wait to see before I come. Okay, close to maxed out. So the bomb does still matter, absolutely.
Especially for Mo, because he's able to afford utility and an AWP because they got the bomb down. But he hasn't been getting too much done with the op just yet, so we'll have to wait and find out whether or not this pulls through.
Unfortunately, both Mo and Nealon are not having a fantastic game. And, you know, Nealon's one of those players that we've highlighted in the past, that this is a guy who is, you know, typical fragging in-game leader, can do quite a lot for his team, and you want him to be able to come pull things off nicely. Unfortunately, it's just not working out for him right now. But Syman, a lot more pressure on IB this time. They've completely given up T-Con for it. Cade is just sitting in the contest spot to make sure Lackey can't push through to the spawn itself. But with two players now being here, Elian's going for the quick little peek with the AWP, and this will make things very, very risky. Lackey can also move forward. Now it's all going to be down to Nickelback on the secondary op, but he's been blocked off. The smoke will allow the T's to be lurking back towards Old Train, and this all comes down to whether or not Crizin wants to rotate back at this point, and he's very undecided about that. The full A site hit from 3 different angles from back and forth can come through, but it's instead just a wraparound towards B. It's the underground train strat, and they're going in all the way. Nickelback on the second drop is holding such an awkward angle. Bondic's already fallen, and now it's all about Elian and Nickelback, as everyone takes a knee, and these players have to save.
Beautifully done by Syman to be able to deny information completely, with the exception of one player crossing towards Old Bomb Train. Winstrike did not know what hit them until it was too late. Still, holding on to these double AWPs is going to be essential. Does Nickelback get away with this, though? Because I'm fairly sure they'll be on the hunt. Mo is probably the weapon he wants in his hands for this kind of hunt, but doesn't work out for him.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Would have been a big kill to find, though. You can see why he's going for the hunt, even though they don't have very much money. So don't really blame him all too much. Nickelback, however, should be able to get Nealon down and out. Can't quite land that shot. Nealon was trying to cross over to pick up the AWP, but the combination of Nickelback and Elian will make this much more costly than perhaps they had first expected. Now, I will say, Mo on the AWP hasn't been all too convincing. I wouldn't really mind seeing him on a Mach 10 or an AK. It sounds like a relegation, but honestly, it gives him a little bit more space. And a lot of the times when Syman have found success, it's been off of some closer range elements where, you know, you're able to get a couple of good duels in. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that being prioritized with high movement to try and bait away Elian. Elian's not missing any of these shots, though. That's such a hairline angle. Nickelback as well with the secondary op comes in. And now, yes, there's a response, but that response is insufficient because it's still a 3 versus 2 with Mo being very low, courtesy of Keo slapping him on the back of his head.
Still, one thing that could work out for Syman is the fact that they still have 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, so the sites are theirs for the taking. But Winstrike, that man advantage will be crucial. Look at the player for look at the position from Crizzen, though. He's getting a little bit too much information. Elian, he's been hitting those easy shots. Not quite a hairline angle, but it is going to be a difficult shot regardless. Shoots in between 2 of the players, and the information is there. Bond, great position from him towards heaven, as he should be able to deny this plant. Mo and Chaos not wise to his tricks just yet, and with 40 seconds on the clock, they need to do something fast. Winstrike not giving up any information so soon, and Crizzen has already made his way towards A main. One of the CTs goes down. Heaven is now cleared.
Oh.
But that's the refrag right there. Mo, 1-on-2, comes through.
The bomb's been dropped on that refrag as well, so Mo has close to no chances. Elian comes through, finishes things off. The secondary AWP can't be saved. It's too far away from Crizzen. But Syman in that situation, losing so many players early on, they could have actually made it very doable because Crizzen, when you push all the way into White Horse for information, the rotation time back is very long. So although it's good info and although it's great to find out if they're going towards that B bomb site or not, to have him there means that theoretically Elian can be overrun. Unfortunately, Syman wanted to slow things down because they didn't really feel confident in trying to go for early aggression, early overwhelming plays towards the AWP, even though they knew the position. And because of that, at the end of the day, Syman can't really capitalize on that long rotation. For ensues, where Elian's also been forced off of his position, will be able to re-peek back out, backs off, and Nickelback in the meanwhile is being given the shooting range for himself.
Start to the half, but you also have to keep in mind that Train is a pretty CT-sided map. That being said, Syman obviously want to take the scoreline as close as possible, and it does seem like they have the tools ready for it. They should have a very comfortable buy, but with Mo being on the AWP, so missing out on quite a bit of mollies, not many flashbangs to work off of, so they might have to go for a bit of an early play or not use utility early on. Crizzen playing that very close angle, but with the way that Mo is playing, Oh, there's no high ripples just yet. Alien, he spots a player, and the flashbang will not be there to phase him. Norbert has fallen, and that allows Crizzen the mobility to start pushing up. He comes around the corner, and since he has a bomb out, he gets caught out. Mo immediately able to get the refrag, but that's the man disadvantage.
Oh, Bondik. What are we looking for from you? Alien's show. Nickelback has had some opening performances there and there. He's had a quick few verses in his wrap up. He'll be able to do so. Nice. Done, and Kios will go down. Like even repositions behind, some damage to go with. This time, Mo and Cade, they want to speed things up just a little bit, but with the AWP in the hands of Mo, he really wants to be able to play for Bix. Unfortunately, Bix are not forward. Alien's got the first. He'll be re-peeking out soon, but before that can happen, his leader will be able to decapacitate Mo. And look at this from Alien, man. 40. So many multi-kill rounds, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Alien's just been opening things up every single time, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. There is no doubt that Alien... I'm still going to say hats off to Nickelback, because it is... It's understandably very difficult as a stand-in to be putting up performances like this. And what we said in the pregame... was that we saw Nickelback pop off against these Akko boards, but that's something that's highly as far as we can see, but there's still a long day to go. It's not Ali. Meanwhile, though, I'm not going to take any credit away from what you highlighted. He's definitely been the one that has gotten those opening kills. Can he keep up the pace, though? Comes through. Nealon picks up an eagle kill of his own, and that's the 3 versus 3 retake starting to come through.
Oh, Lackey comes in. Great shot to start things off. Secondary leads up as well, but Nealon is brought down immediately, and the 3 versus 3 retake is a
pretty much a 1v3.
Lot less exciting than what we thought it would be.
Yeah, Lackey just cleaned house there, making it to the 9th round on the board for Winstrike, and now they're just 1 away from double digits. Syman, they're no slouches either, though, because they are already on 4 points, and should they be able to get 6, they would be on a comfortable half. That being said, with the way that Alien's been able to get these opening kills, I think that is still quite a tough ask. Mo needs to be stepping up now with that AWP in his hands.
Mo needed to step up a few rounds ago. If he can do it now, that would be a nice little addition. Nades, Molotovs, everything flying through towards T-Connector will ensure that the CTs have some temporary solace from there. And it means that should Pop Dog be the destination, the CTs should have a fairly good idea that this is to come. You can already see Nickelback having cheated over towards the B bomb site. Alien on IV, for once not where all the action is going to be, for once not where the opening kill can feasibly come out of, considering Kios' defensive positioning, but Alien is in pursuit. Meanwhile, Mo somewhat reveals his position, and that prompts Bondik to put 2 players inside Pop Dog. Alien, how the hell does he do that, man? Kios is all the way in T-spawn. He pushes out of Ivy, finds that first kill, wants to continue that streak of form. Bondik is able to come through with a failed flashbang as Cade will fall. Very nice positioning from him to allow that to happen, as Lackey will now be staring down with Highway.
And now they're just walking in dry. Crizzen is able to get that first kill. Lackey, with his AUG, will be taking advantage of those long-range duels, and that's a pretty easy round for Winstrike. And there's the highlight again. Alien is able to get that first pick so easily.
It's such a ridiculous situation.
That's what Winstrike has been playing off of the back of. Had he been able to do that yesterday, I think we would have seen an even more convincing game than what we already saw from Winstrike. Sure, the second map was overtime, but you saw what a bloodbath the first map was in the form of Vertigo. That being said, we do have a much more important game now on our hands, since these are the semifinals, and Winstrike have already gone to double digits. Syman only on 4, and it'll be very difficult for them to come back from this, should this go to 11 for Winstrike. Alien not quite hitting the shot this time around. Smoke rolls out, slowing the pace of Syman.
Lucky can't push in for once, so the T-side Molotovs are actually going to be able to make up for the fact that we've seen so many times that Lucky just comes in, camps down over towards T-connector and just has infinite amounts of information. But now the smoke response that's there from the CTs is automatic. It honestly doesn't look like Nickelback's standing at all. He doesn't look like he's not integrated. He looks like he's been playing with this team for months, and it's really refreshing to see them being able to pull this off with him. But this is the last round, and Syman need to get that 5th on the board. Nickelback will get some information about a player being over towards Whitehorse, but that player is just lying to him essentially. He's immediately moved back. Nickelback will maintain his aggressive position. Because of that, faked out info, and Cade will take him down. Now, 5v4 with the T side coming in. There's 30 seconds on the clock, and it all comes down to Alien and Bondic. Can they stop the T's from entering onto the bomb site? Alien's got to play very close to his heart, and that's right in front of the bomb train. Bondic will go down to Norbert, and now it's a 3v4, quickly equalize off the back of Alien's AWP, but as quickly given up yet again from Kios and his AK.
Yeah, the bomb was dropped though, but being able to recover it, and the bomb is down now. Comes to a 2 versus 3. Alien, he's already picked up 2. Krisen yet to find anything. Comes around the corner. Kios will not be found as he immediately responds to the information with his AK. Alien, 1-on-3. He'd have to get the ace clutch to be able to close this out. Very comfortable lead for Winstrike, but he's looking to sweeten the deal further. He knows the position of Kios. He just doesn't want to get immediately refrag. Hits the first shot. He's looking for the second. Hasn't spotted the player in the cubby just yet. Comes around the corner, but that's still not enough time. 10-5, and Syman, they're going to soften the load just a little bit. They're going to cushion their fall, but 10-5, still a commendable half from Winstrike.
Winstrike, in that particular round, actually got slightly fooled by Kios in his positioning, which is really interesting to see. Because when Kios was running up towards Whitehorse and he bunny hopped forward, that gives Nickelback a false sense of security, and B, a necessity to stay aggressive for information. So when that smoke is fading away, instead of backing off to a slightly more defensive angle behind the crate, Nickelback in T-Con just stares down towards T-spawn immediately, and he just gets eliminated there and then. Because of that, for once, the man advantage doesn't go to Syman early on, and the trades just can't be as effective. Now the CT side, Syman...
Wait, hold that thought. I'm sorry to cut you off, but why is Nickelback on a deagle? We've talked about this before. And well...
We'll find out, I suppose, because Neelan started things off with a USB pretty nicely. And that's definitely not a deagle, but Nickelback, nice little shot there, and a follow-up into Norbert's head. But unfortunately, it was through the corner of the green train wall. Because of that, Norbert can live a little while longer. Neelan comes in with another Bondic, does respond, and a 3v3 ensues.
Still a very comfortable spot for Winstrike to be in. Alien, he spotted Kios, but should he drop the bomb here? Oh, look at Nickelback. He's already picked up 2. And he also has information on the player going towards heaven. Kios loses life immediately, and that's just Norbert. Has yet to get a kill, and now he's getting slammed from all angles. There it is. Nickelback, apparently when a deagle's in his hands, it doesn't matter if it's a P250, it doesn't matter if it's a deagle. He gets the job done.
You know what, Nickelback, I'll let you get away with that one.
Yeah, if he gets the job done, we can't...
I'm not commenting in that case.
Can't really be saying anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
11-5, Winstrike. For Syman, that pistol round was so essential because they had the round deficit, because they're on the CT side. And now Winstrike, they've just cemented their lead further. Norbert already taking a little bit of damage to the early utility being thrown, and Winstrike will be holding on to their horses. They will take their time to clean out these angles because they don't want to run into a stack anytime soon. Krisen, meanwhile, will slowly start to build up bank as he puts well, he starts lining his wallet just a little bit with the Mac 10, but he eventually gets taken down and will have to pay those medical fees. Bonding, on the other hand, will be putting another player in the hospital as he takes one down. Norbert and Nealon left with their pistols.
Wow. Not for long.
Yeah, of course.
Not for long. 12th round on the board for Winstrike, keeping things fresh and keeping things clean in the anti-eco is very important. Of course, they themselves were able to win an eco round in the first half, which was where the entire advent of their comeback, well, not really a comeback if you lost the pistol round, but the entire advent of their domination was precipitated off the back of. Now, Syman, no AWP, but so far their AWP has really not been paying off for them. Regardless, maybe a 5 rifle setup can come through to fruition, but I really wanted to see something. I honestly wanted to see an op from the hands of Alien. I wanted to see an op in Alien's hands. He's been doing so well so far, and I just thought it would have been a treat to be able to keep seeing that performance come through.
Yeah, but T-side dynamics for the AWP always going to be very different, which is why I'm a little sad that we don't get the opportunity to see Mo immediately on the AWP, but that's understandable because they aren't able to build up the economy for it. That being said, I was hoping for the refresher to come through. The side reset could have potentially meant that the AWP would finally come alive for Mo. They won't be given many opportunities, though, because they're only 4 rounds away from the victory. And that's sort of the danger that you lead yourself into if you lose the half 10-5 and still end up giving out the pistol. Winstrike, they haven't gotten any control just yet. The bomb is still dropped. They'll be taking their time. Nealon, first point of contact. Risen is just about to come around the corner. There's no flashbang primed either. Nealon, he looks away. He's worried about the flash, and that's 2 entries for Winstrike.
Well, oh, actually, never mind. Keels can't really find that kill. I thought Keels was in a great position with an off angle, but Kristen immediately fires him down, and Mo, well, although he gets a quick headshot in, it doesn't look like there should be much he can do. Does take down Prison while I say that, so there is that. But unfortunately, with his teammate falling, a 1 versus 3 is unlikely at the best of times. And with an M4A1 with 3 different angles to contend with, it seems even more so. Mo will take down Alien, but finally, Lucky to peek out. I don't even know how Lucky peeks out, by the way. You've got 10 HP, Lucky. That is the opposite of the play I want to peek out. But hey, he makes it work.
That's the logic we stated earlier. 10 HP is kind of like 25 HP, which is also pretty close to 40 HP, and maybe that's around 80 HP. So yeah, I'm a full HP player. There we go. Let's go for the peak. And it worked out, so what are you going to say about that?
Good job. Don't do it again.
Yeah, as the ideal,
I feel like
you're
that's exactly what
you
you say about that.
Winstrike, though, on the other hand, they have quite a bit to say as they've already gotten 13 rounds on the board. Syman on the pistols. Again, they had that one chance off of their rifles, but given their utility, given their economic position, immediately buying up means that now they're back on pistols. There's just so little breathing room for Syman to work off of. Mo already being down, they just have to go for a gamble here, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's 3 players set up towards B, so the read is good from Syman. They have a player to a short ladder as well to come out for the flank. Pop flash goes through, and now the entries will come through. Cade picks up 1, but he immediately gets traded out. Norbert tries to chime in, and he does. Prison, though, running around the map with the Mac 10, is able to pick up 2 quick kills, and the flank will be thwarted as well. 14-5. Winstrike now only 2 rounds away from victory.
Let's also not forget that we predicted Syman to come through dominant in train.
And
we also predicted Winstrike to dominate on nuke. So things aren't looking too good for Syman at this point on their map pick, like you mentioned. So now you've got Kristen on a Mac 10, which could end up being a little bit more deadly than you expect. He can actually go down to a speedway very fast, but the Molotovs will come through, prevent that from happening. Meanwhile, Kios and his potential aggression towards Ivy is just not going to be a thing. And with him now moving forward with Mo's backup, needs to be careful. Mo, in the meanwhile, very slim angle, and hopefully he can hit that shot, but so far he's not been having that great of a game, while his teammates have already lost a lot of HP. Kios, however, comes in big, finds that first. Cade, on another side of the map, will be able to get another.
That's a great position for him to be playing too, because he's able to bait out the shot, and as soon as the shot is baited out from Mo, he's actually baiting the refragger to try to peek him, and because of the angle that he's in, it's a bit of an off angle as they're aiming for the AWP behind him. He's able to quickly clean house there, and that's the advantage for Syman. Winstrike, though, they're not quite out just yet, though. 3 on 5. Mo having repositioned to check the angle towards main. Nealon will fall as Prison gets the entry.
This is going to be... Oh, no. Kios finds that kill. I thought Prison might be able to come through with a second one as well, but now Syman, on a 4 versus 2, with knowledge of where the bomb is as well, when Lackey throws out that flashbang, he picks up an AK instead, will come through with a big one, but not enough ammo to feel comfortable swinging out for more, and Mo just takes him down. 15 seconds on the clock. Nickelback soon to fall, but wants to take as many people with him as humanly possible. He does have the bomb, but there's 8 seconds to go. He probably wants to go down for the lost bonus, or does he? Seems like it's all going to be about the damage, but unfortunately, the damage does not come through. And Syman keep 3 players alive and 2 AWPs, so pretty decent way to win out that round. Winstrike losing 2 players early on, uncharacteristic, but that is what Syman needed.
Yeah, the double op being saved means that they're immediately able to drop another weapon, and that's the full buy for them. Not sacrificing any utility on the CT side, which is generally what you see when some damage pulls through. That was definitely not enough damage coming out from the T side. They've still gotten quite a bit done with regards to the scoreline, though, which means that Syman will have quite a bit of an uphill battle to fight. Mo needs to be hitting these shots, but Elian comes out on top. The peak will be there, and Elian has been so consistent. That's the first stopper being gone, and it makes it that much harder for Syman to hold on to dear life. Norbert, now having picked up that AWP, still puts Syman on the double op status, but that will make those retakes harder. Kios, meanwhile, makes their lives a little bit easier, as Elian, the star performer, has been eliminated from the server. Now Winstrike scrambling, try to find some more space, as any space that they previously had has been given up yet again. Now making their way towards Ivy, as Nickelback is soon to join them.
Oh, Kios again just keeping Ivy control very nicely so. And with most fallen, AWP has found himself his second, so 40 seconds on the clock, and again a 3 versus 4. Smoke going out towards the connector, and Kios' positioning is excellent. Christian's going to have such a hard time getting past him, and when he's going to be peeking out, he's doing so very slowly, so Kios just finds an easy kill. Nealon now... Meanwhile, actually, Kios is missing a second shot, but Nealon is there to pick things up for him. Nealon's still alive as well, so Nickelback again with the exact same amount of time and the exact same amount of counter-terrorists to deal with a 1 versus 3. And this time he'll actually go back and save. Picks up some utility as well from his fallen teammate, and will be taking this AK-47 forward into the next one. I honestly expected him to go for damage, but... I guess just prioritizing the AK. Their lost bonus isn't that great, so 2,400 in this one. I mean, he will have a buy coming up next, but I don't know. I'm slightly surprised to see that.
He still has $1,500 to go, though.
Indeed.
Which means that he should be able to buy up an AK-47 regardless of the fact that he went for the save there. Not $15. Guys, you cannot buy an AK for $15.
Hopefully. The world we would live in if we could. Give it some time, the T-side economy will get there. Kios. Kios on his up. Very prolific so far towards Ivy. Early damage being done, but no real kills coming. And I say that, but that shot was obviously going to come in immediately after.
Yeah, Kios has been so good on that Ivy control. Time and time again, he's able to get those early picks for his team. That being said, can Syman...
Oh? I think Wild Lady's mic might have cut off. But hey, I'm sure we'll be fine. Nealon, waiting for the beak to come in, but he's got an aggressive on his own. Bomb's been dropped, and it's all Mo trying to prevent them from entering the side itself. And sure, they're just eco frags, but very important ones when you lose 0 players on the CT side. This could be the semblance of a bank being built up. And we know what a bank being built up means. A bank being built up means that, hey, maybe, just maybe, you can start to look towards your lucky star, look towards, you know, hey, can we make a comeback happen? Is that really possible? Do we have that in the cards? And I don't want to jinx them yet. I don't want to bring it up yet because it is still a very uphill battle. But with Winstrike continually going for buys like this, which are slightly sketchy as far as utility goes, it's definitely giving them a bit of a chance. However, Elian starts off strong. This time, it won't be Kios to find that first kill. This time, it's Elian to come through on top. 4 versus 5 ensues. With a minute and a half and a Molotov being chucked over to the top of Pop Dog. Syman was hoping to get some sort of information, some sort of control or sound cues, but unfortunately the player's already inside Pop Dog. So Nealon, now he just sits and waits. A minute and 10 seconds on the clock, a 5v4. Lots of smoke still here, so if now the execute comes in from the T side, you're going to have a very hard time when Kios himself is this aggressive towards Ivy, because Kios, by the time he comes over to block off the terrorists from actually getting onto the bomb site, choke points should be smoked off as it is. I say this, but look at this. Winstrike are winding down the clock even further. Molotov in towards inner will make it very difficult for them to actually move into the B bomb site, but there go out the smokes, there goes out the fake execute. There's already 2 players on B. The bomb's still very much postured to go over towards A, and these players are just going to run down Pop Dog. First kill actually comes out from Lackey, though, and that'll be forcing the rotations to come through. Lackey all on his lonesome could win this round. Kios comes in with a nice one, and another from Nealon. A 3 versus 3, where Syman do not have the positioning to be able to contest the bomb from being planted. It should be going down, but Ellen's not planting in a safe spot. Instead, it's in the open. Nealon and Kios can exploit that, and it will be the Syman victory. 9th round on the board, where it looked like Winstrike had found the formula. They were in a 5 versus 3, with Lackey finding that one quick kill, but unfortunately, Kios and Nealon both on that A bomb side just a little bit too good. And let's not forget, Nealon was not having a good game at all. So this is a big place to start coming in from. $49 and Winstrike. Is this where you start to sweat? Well, they may be sweating, but Kristen is pumping bullets into Mo's head. Kios, again, man, he's been so good. He has been the saving grace in every single round. And sure, it's just an anti-half-Y, but it's important, man. It's important on the CT side.
Oh, Winstrike, they've gotten so much damage done here. Only off of the back of the Eagles. Are they going to be able to capitalize on this? Norbert, he stops the bomb as well, and apparently the USB, it's an assault rifle at this point. That was very similar to a spray transfer.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at this. Oh, tick, 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 tick. Well, 10th round on the board for Syman. The doublest of digitists have been achieved, and this is where maybe we can start whispering to each other in hushed tones about the possibilities of a comeback, because Syman on the CT side have looked like a very different team now that Kios has his hands on the AWP.
Yeah, just solid control being established all across the board. And with only 4 rounds to go, it's still not out of the question just yet. 13-5 was looking very deadly for Syman. But that dominance is slowly going away from Winstrike. Still, the firepower is always going to be a force to be reckoned with. Winstrike slowly making their way around inner. They still have a player positioned towards Ivy because they want that info to be there. But look at this adjustment from Syman coming out. They don't actually have Kios playing towards Ivy. That's a position that has been run to the ground at this point, and this time around he'll actually get a little bit more aggressive towards mid. Lackey, if he catches wind of this, it could change things tremendously. There's already 2 players from the Syman side on the B side, though. 2 players waiting close to short ladder. Some utility being thrown by Winstrike will mean that the rotation is not there just yet. And with the way the bomb is, looks like it is a decided B take.
Well, Mo's found the first. Cade from Highway might not be expected. Neelan comes in, but Elian is there to refrag away. Cade is untouchable in the meanwhile, and it leaves everything onto Lackey's shoulder. And Lackey, well, there's only so much one man's shoulders can take. Picks up the AWP, will be looking for Kios. Even just finding this kill would be big, but so far no scopes are not connecting. Lackey moves in. Kios comes out on top regardless. I think that was a leg shot. And unfortunately, Lackey can't get the kill. So 14-11 and a timeout comes in. Winstrike are not really showing us anything on their T side, to be perfectly honest. Where we have a few moments where, yes, they can... Well, we've had a few moments where they've won some rounds off the back of, you know, Nickelback's Deagle in the pistol round. Most notably, they were able to get the 12-5 lead. But ever since then, Syman have come into their own completely, and I have to say so much of it looks like Winstrike just doesn't know what to do on the D side.
That does seem to be the case, and it's also just great plays coming out from Syman. And I would also go out on a limb and say that was also a bit of luck from Cade to have that timing down towards Highway. Sure, you can only credit one round to that, but Syman sort of have gotten the ball rolling, and things seem to be working out for them. For Cade to be in the right position at the right time to peek out as soon as they all position themselves towards lower, even though a split second earlier of a peek could have meant a world of difference. They aren't exactly having the worst of lucks here. Winstrike now on the Deagles and the CZ75 in the hands of Bondic. Seems to be the case that on the CT side, Syman are very, very dominant. Neelan has picked up the first, with the bomb positioning being the way it is. Does seem to be a B take very soon. Mo picks up the first kill. Flashbang is there for the support. And Cade makes quick work of the T side, and there it is, the 3K. And Syman now they're only 2 rounds away from tying things up.
The question that now comes in is, what needs to change? And honestly, we're not really seeing Winstrike taking a foray into early picks. They're hoping Syman will make mistakes, and that's playing into Syman's passive style so far. Kios is the only person who's really doing anything at this stage in that regards. And even he, because of the fact that he's actually over towards Ivy, it's not that difficult to isolate out that Ivy player. So, you know, going for some sort of picks by having a player position towards Highway or something. But actually, our Ivy player is now down. Maybe this could be the opening now that man who has very much been the star so far is potentially on the sidelines. D side still opting to posture for the B bomb site.
This should work out for them because Elian, it's been a while since he's gotten a pick, and opening up Ivy just means that Syman has that much more pressure towards A. Just one lone defender on the B bomb site, should they decide to go through. Nickelback postured towards B with the bomb in his hands. Utility being primed by Winstrike to eventually make their way towards B. The commitment hasn't come out just yet, though. But with only 40 seconds on the clock, we will be seeing something very soon. Syman do not have anything to delay the push. They only have 3 flashbangs, 1 on a player apiece. No Molotov. So the push will be very difficult to hold on to unless they can have their shots, and Lackey will do just that. Gets the first kill. The opening kill comes through. Cade is playing around the bomb site. His position is given away. He goes to try to deny the bomb plant. And he does, but not for long. Norbert, 1-on-4, and Elian getting that first pick was exactly the window of opportunity that Winstrike needed to be able to maneuver into a round.
No, but at this point, they have money on the CT side, but that's... Well, honestly, actually, you know what? You can actually go for this. You need to be buying every single round after this. Anyhow, Winstrike's going to be on, map point, and this is very much going to be important, however much Norbert can take away from them. And 2 players kept alive isn't bad for the team side by any stretch of the imagination, but if Bondik was taken down as well, you could have feasibly seen Winstrike somewhat wanting for Molotovs, and that's always a dangerous thought for the T side of Train. You'll need to be able to molly out in spots like Sandwich, spots like the Z connector at times and whatnot. So, nicely played, but Winstrike, like you mentioned, off the back of Elian's pick, just able to come out on top, 15-12. Ivy seemed to be the point that they needed to solve, and Elian says, you know what, I'll take it into my own hands, but this time his own hands are not going to be enough. Mo will find that early pick off the back of a very good spot.
Great pick coming through, and a second one follows suit. Winstrike, where they sort of look like they were in the driver's seat for a moment, they've immediately been kicked out of the car. 3 players on the Winstrike side now, as they've lost 2 already, and with still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, it is going to be such a difficult battle for them to come back into this. Syman still have a couple Molotovs in their hands, so for Winstrike to bait it out would probably be the ideal situation. Cade, that flashbang won't phase him enough to miss that first kill, but he eventually falls to the second player coming through. Mo looking for the pick around the corner. Flashbang is there, but so is the kill. Prison, 1-on-4, picks up the first flanker, second one as well. Doesn't know there's a play coming through highway, and Mo will net that kill as well. 3 kills for him. And that is such a good job being done.
It did get a little bit touchy in the middle, even though they did get the early 2 kills. Just 2 players kept alive from Syman, obviously not ideal, but like I said before, at this point it doesn't really matter. The buys will be coming out repeatedly from either side as long as bomb plants can be there from Winstrike as well, but this is potentially the last round we might see Winstrike having a solid chance of taking them down, because well, actually, Bondik's not going for utility. They're going to be going for a very fast play off the back of this. They need to be able to come out on top with it, because Bondik without utility is a scary, scary prospect. That means they're already potentially preparing for a potential loss to come out of this round. And although that's always nice to be prepped, but 15-13 in, you want them to see them going all in, balls deep. Lackey moving forward, hoping to catch someone off, will be caught off instead. Mo so defensive so often, and it's all going to be about Bondik to come through from highway, finds the initial kill. Mo's next to fall. Bondik's got the 2 crucial entries. That could be everything.
Kiaz is still alive though, but because of the position he's in, it'll be so difficult for them to maneuver back into this. Norbert, he's picked up the first, and the retake starts to come in. Kiaz waiting for the oil train player to start to show through. Elian, Molotov primed, and they are in such good positions to stop this retake, but the shot does not come through. Elian does not hit that, even though it looked like it did. Now Nickelback has a huge job on his hands, but he drops the ball. 1-on-3. And apparently the retake starts to succeed, and there it is. Norbert. What a solid job being done. And the fact that he's able to pick up those first 2 kills made a world of difference. Now just 1 round away from bringing it to overtime, Syman will still have quite a bit of pressure on them.
Bodnik's 2 kills just not able to be enough despite the perfect, well, seemingly perfect entries that are there. And now you do see his decision to save $1,100 coming back and assisting them a little bit. You still have a full buy up the back of the bomb plant and everything. That's lovely, but Elian missing a shot when he's been fairly solid all throughout the game, especially on the CT side. And now the initial duel being taken, Neil, and trying to contest for Speedway, but Prison's already heavily tagged, courtesy of some nades and whatnot, and Neil finishes them off.
Winstrike making a quick play towards B. K does not get the spray transfer just yet, and now they're back on the bomb site. Mo missing that shot could be crucial. Elian, he's positioned in the place he wants to be, but we've seen him miss shots from here before. Doesn't quite connect anything just yet. The numbers disadvantage. being the way of the T side. Bondic is going to have to come up huge from this close range angle if he wants the team to survive this, if the 16-14 has to come through. But he's taken so much damage. Elian immediately chimes in on the position of the flankers there as well. Kiosk playing around the terrain, gets the quick scope, and it's all down to Elian. He has the AWP in his hands. He's slowly getting caved in from all angles. Doesn't spot the first player, but the barrel might have been spotted. Bomb defuse still not coming through just yet. He comes around the corner and he cannot deny it. Syman, with barely any seconds to work off of, they're able to bring it to overtime. And there it is.
Let's not forget, Winstrike started off with a 12-5 advantage. For Syman to bring it back is so incredibly good. And it's also, frankly, very surprising. With the way things were materializing in the first half, Mo especially stepping up massively towards the very end of the game. Kios, obviously, we've hopped on and on and on and waxed lyrical about him for good reason, but Mo in the very last few rounds of the game found some crucial kills onto Elian, onto Lackey as well, onto anyone who wanted to enter that A bomb site from T connector, and that was the difference maker. Now Lackey moving forward aggressively. Kios is already down. Lackey's decided that enough is enough. He's the one who'll be taking that secondary op forward in the T side, no less. And although Norbert can pick up the op fallen over, it will be in exchange for quite a bit of damage.
Lackey getting that first kill despite the carpet Molotovs towards Speedway. Could potentially be huge, and with Krizan on the case for the push coming through from Nealon, might be able to thwart this attempt at the equalizer as well. Two players watching this. Nealon, though, oh, he might have gotten spotted. Picks up the kill and is able to back off. I'm very surprised by that, because for a second there it looked like the T's might have spotted him. They might have caught wind of him, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Bomb still all the way back. 50 seconds on the clock, so they can take their time, and Syman seemed to be leaning just a little bit towards the B-bomb site. No play has come out from Winstrike just yet, though. They have a couple of flashbangs. They have 3 smokes. And a dream.
30 seconds on the clock, and they might be woken up rudely. Norbert's down already. The 4v3 ensues, and the A-bomb site should still very much be open for business. Bondic is inching in. Molotov going forward as well, but Nealon, he's going to be the difference maker. He's going to be the linchpin of this site. Mo's already found the one he needed to support. Nealon finds one. Nealon looking for more, and it will be a 2v2. Bomb is down. Nealon can't interrupt it in time, and Katie in the background will fall, leaving it all on Mo.
2 angles to work with. Doesn't realize that Bondic is right around the smoke, but that's exactly what works for him, because he's able to get the no-scope. Switching over to the AK-47, he just has to find Nickelback, but that's a player that does not miss many shots. Sticking the defuse, Nickelback not peeking just yet. Pros don't fake, and Nickelback knows this. He gets the kill, and it's 16-15 for Winstrike.
Nickelback had cooled down so much going into the second half. You could see it. He went from being about 14-3 to 20-17 now, and honestly, D-side always a little bit harder to, fool around with. But in the meanwhile, while we have a pause, if you guys want to go, find something to do, fool around a little bit, go over to, our Twitter. It's at the Esports Bible. We actually have a pinned tweet, and it gives you a chance to win a very, very cool computer. If you're wondering what computer it is, it's a Main Gear gaming PC. All you need to do is retweet and participate in Esports Millions to win it. Esports Millions, if you're wondering what that is, it has multiple rounds, and round 2 is live. This time, Unicorn, our betting partners, are offering everyone who participates a chance to win a Main Gear Vibe Stage 3 gaming PC. The top 50 answers also share $5,000 of Unicorn bets. This is all just to lead up to the €1 million giveaway during Cups 3 and 4, though. Anyone who answers all 10 questions right will win the life-changing prize. This is real. Get involved at ukrn.io, and that's ukrn.io/esportsmillions. And Winstrike, I know what they're thinking. Damn it, couldn't that have come through last round?
It's also very interesting to see where the power is coming from now on the Winstrike side. You generally saw Elian being the difference maker, but now Lackey has really been coming in clutch. Sure, he had quite a few kills early on as well, but now in the overtime, you saw him get so aggressive with that op, and he got 2 quick kills that were able to open up the round for them. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that they need going for them on this D side that they haven't been particularly strong on. And the one saving grace might be the fact that Syman weren't looking too good on that either. That being said, either team looking to secure the advantage because it has not lost just yet as far as the half scoreline goes. Kioz playing his bread and butter Ivy position, flashbang to get Elian primed up to take this shot.
Well, he's not feeling confident the same way he was earlier. He's lost quite a few of those duels at this point, so he smokes himself off and will back off. And now that could come back to bite them because you can see already the Ivy players have repositioned and moved backwards. So whether or not his secondary op is going to be particularly useful there at this point is yet to be seen. Elian just making sure no one's pushing too aggressively towards that T connector. And as I question Keon's ability to put up numbers, if people aren't coming over, people have decided to come over. So that's nice for him.
Still not a casualty on either side. However, the action is about to start as Winstrike start to move towards Ivy. Kioz, that Molotov, will be delaying their push quite a bit. And with only 30 seconds on the clock, this seems like disastrous news for Winstrike because on a map like Train, there are just so many different angles to be checking that you can't let it get down to the last wire, especially if you haven't gotten the kill. Norbert, meanwhile, he's opened up things for the CT side. Only 20 seconds on the clock. They need to do something fast, and this is where they'll start to push through, but this push will immediately be thwarted. 2 players already falling. Nickelback trying to find the player on the bomb side, but Mo will make quick work of him. Elian, now being left all alone, will also be left alone in his grave. 16-16. Now either side playing for the round advantage.
The question is also now, who makes a move from Winstrike? Because so far, waiting till the clock touches 30 and hoping you can stumble onto a bomb site and make it work has not worked for them. And for good reason. It's because Syman's been hitting all of their shots and Syman's been saving the utility to some extent for later on in the rounds. Winstrike need to look to exploit that, and that's why you see 3 players coming out from Pop Dog early on, but Norbert's already here to intercept. Norbert gets too aggressive after he gets a first and will be taken down. He was afraid of being caught while he was retreating backwards. Keels now on the AWP, and a Molotov in front of them will set up for Neelan to find another one as, well, actually, Cade thought he'd be able to get that one, but although he's coming in for the flank, can't quite get it. The bomb isn't with them, though. That's the problem.
Ooh, that's right. For a second there, I thought they might have been able to take the bomb towards B, but with all 3 players on the A site, man, oh man, Syman, they put the ball in their court. They do not need to worry about this round anymore. Oh, scratch that. Bondic still alive and kicking, and Mo will stop those feet right there.
Syman finding the advantage is key to them because Winstrike, I have to say that the kinds of shots that they were hitting on the CT side, the kind of form that they were in CT side, it doesn't look like it should be able to come through. I'll give Elian the benefit of the doubt. I think Elian might still be able to because a lot of his mitigation on the terrorist side is just because you're on the terrorist side and he's so difficult to op, and it seemed like he was excelling in the defensive style of opping of CT side. But Nickelback was the player who was right there with him neck to neck, taking things forward, just multi-kill after multi-kill, and he's not been the same player in the past few rounds. So my question is whether or not he can bring things back, because Syman at this stage with that advantage, you could see them running away with this very easily. Elian hoping to contest where, you know, there's been a lot of success found for Kioz. No double up from Winstrike, surprisingly enough. And with a minute and a half, the question is, what do they want to do? They're playing 2 players on the B-bomb side. Will that work out for them?
Syman still playing this very slow, and that's one shot that Elian could not have afforded to miss. Opening up so much space for the Syman side. And now, slowly make their way towards Ivy. Flashbang comes out. Lots of space has been created, so Winstrike aren't feeling too comfortable. Norbert looking around. This might just mean that Kristen will be able to catch him. Well, the timing is not quite there. Giving up his position, he realized that he needs to back off. Syman with the man advantage, but still 40 seconds on the clock and all the control that they could possibly need all across the map. They're looking to take it to 18. Flashbang avoided by Bondic, but the bullets will not be. Norbert starts to move in. The SL push, the A main push. Just so many angles for Nickelback to deal with, but he picks up one regardless. 2 versus 3. Bomb has yet to go down. Lackey peeks around the corner, but Kiosk will come out on top with his AWP. Krisen 1-on-2. He's getting pincered in from these two players, and there is no way he can split his barrel in half and shoot 2 people at once.
That was such a nice way to catch Bondic off as well, because Bondic has showed before that he likes to play towards the midway area of the Pop Dog room. So when the flashbang is forced forward, they're expecting him to actually move in towards the ladder, because Bondic has found a few kills doing that in regulation. Unfortunately, Bondic isn't ready for the second player, who's just immediately decapitating him and slicing his head off. And that was just a really nice flashbang to bait out his movement to do that. So props to them for finding him, because that was a difference-making kill. Obviously, Elian going down in the beginning isn't ideal, but Bondic from Pop Dog has been a linchpin so many times and has been such a deadly threat. Elian, again, in an angle where he really can't afford to miss, and he might be forced to, because the run boost comes in. From the other side, it's Kios to take a peek, and Elian, although he's got some backup, this will be a double nade kill to come through, allowing Lackey to take it away.
It's still not done for Winstrike just yet. After a very long time, they seem to have gotten the man advantage early on, but Syman, they're looking to make a play towards B. Nickelback makes good use of that AWP as he's good for 2. And 2 will be all that remains on the Syman side. Making their way towards A main. They have yet to get a player, and with Elian towards the bomb side and only 1 flashbang, it will be so difficult for them to even get any damage done. And that's not what matters. When you're in overtime, the damage won't matter. So they're looking to take the round, but Nealon left in a 1-on-4. Bomb behind the electric box means that there's realistically no way that he gets this round, and he's just hoping to die before the time.
Oh, that's such a nice
cute attempt at a one-tap block.
Yeah. It's always good to see a CT player finding some sort of confidence to take a peek like that in Bondic, though, after they've been pummeled in the second half. And I know if you're tuning in right now, you're thinking, overtime, T-Time, what are you talking about? They weren't pummeled. Oh, they were pummeled. They went from 12-5 to 15-15, and then now still fighting up against map point for Syman. This is going to be an uphill battle continuously. Winstrike, so far, they have impressed us on certain points. Nickelback not on the secondary op this time, funnily enough. It is Lackey on it yet again. Maybe it's a positional thing. Maybe it's just doing it off the cuff. But hey, I like Lackey on the op anyway. I think he's very aggressive, and I always like that in an opper.
Winstrike, they're looking to take it to double overtime. But Syman's player is being positioned towards B. It'll be very difficult for Winstrike to hold on to this, because you have to keep in mind that they only have 1 player towards B. Still not a decided take just yet. There are a few signs that suggest that they might go towards B. Bondic picks up the first kill. That's a bit of an advantage for Winstrike, but that being said, Syman, they've managed to creep behind enemy lines. They've already made their way towards B, and Nealon will be in the perfect position to take this. Mao, though, is able to pick up a kill for himself. It's a 4 versus 3. And Syman still have to fight it to stop it from going to the overtime.
I mean, you've got the bomb down, you've got a smoke down to cover for the flank for now. It all comes down to what Kios can do. Kios is moving in. Oh, hold that thought. Mo misses that shot, but Kios, he should be able to find 2 over here. He knows where Lackey is as well. Lackey drops down and Nickelback turns around, leaving it all on Nealon's shoulders. A 1v4, and Nealon just revealed his position as well. Comes through with 1, repositions for another. This is suddenly doable. Nickelback is going to be able to save the day, but Nealon, what an attempt from him. Could have actually run away with that. Could have actually pulled off the 1v4, but unfortunately, just didn't have the HP to prevent Nickelback from pre-firing him around the corner.
That flank was so essential, but the fact that Nickelback was able to pick that up regardless of having a gun pointed directly at his head, save pointing, he had a gun pressing up against his forehead, and he still managed to win out that kill. So Winstrike hanging by a thread, they're able to take it to double overtime, and now they're starting off on, well, arguably their stronger side. Not just the map stronger side. You also have to keep in mind that Syman weren't looking too good on their T side either, and the tactical timeout comes through.
Not very many of these so far in the game, but, well, Winstrike, honestly, they need 3 rounds. Their T side is really bad.
Yeah, the one round they were able to secure on their T side in the previous overtime half was off of the back of Lackey getting very aggressive towards Speedway and getting a kill through the fire and flames.
Let's also just, I want to shout Lackey with some love because he's sitting on 30 kills right now. And again, it's been a long game, so I know a lot of people probably missed in the first few rounds, but Alien and Nickelback were both sitting around 15 kills. I'd like to say 12 rounds into it. The rest of the team was nowhere close. Winstrike was being hard carried by those 2 players. And now when you look at things, those are the ones who've quieted down like nothing else, while Lackey, he's the only person who've hit 30 so far.
And that's a very worrisome sight. When you consider the fact that Nickelback and Alien, they haven't quite chimed in after those first few rounds. Sure, it's nice to get that bit of insurance, that bit of guarantee for your team when you get those early rounds, but if you stop chiming in, a comeback is sure to follow.
Well, Flash is moving in. Nealon's completely blind, but he's already got an aggressive early in. Mo's got the first, and already not a promising start to things, as Nealon will be able to scout out the second. Alien will fall with only a single kill, and although Nickelback can reposition to try for more attempts, will not succeed, and it leaves Prison alone in a 1v3. Syman have found their pace, and it is damn quick.
Prison, despite Winstrike getting that early pick off of Nickelback, unfortunately they're not able to really capitalize on it. Now Syman, they end up on the front end, they get the advantage. And I feel like Syman is one of these teams that pull this off very often. Even when we were casting their game against Aviz a little while back, we saw how close they let the game get, and then they just go for the comeback and they make it look easy as ever, which is something that is very worrying for Winstrike at the moment. They don't have an amazing T side, and when they start dropping the ball on the CT side, that's where it truly gets worrying, because you cannot expect that star power to keep pulling through. While on the other hand, Syman, if anything, as the game goes on, it feels like their players are getting more and more fired up. Everyone's starting to chime in. Not a single player that hasn't gotten work done. Syman quickly sending a player towards Speedway, who does not find success because Lackey is running and gunning with that AUG. That being said, advantage has been given to the Winstrike side, but there's still quite a bit of time to go.
Oh no, Kios has already found Alien as well, so 4v4 and in the worst possible way. Kios even picks up the AWP, and we know how deadly he can be with it as he takes down Nickelback as well as moving forward, but misses that shot and will fall because of it. The bomb's already been guaranteed to plant though, and it's in such a tricky spot. Cade, so aggressive, can cut these players off and with them their heads.
Perfect positioning from Syman. This 2 versus 3 retake will be next to impossible. Nealon picks up the first, and despite Lackey getting 2 very early kills, we see again that Winstrike are on the back foot.
On the CT side, no less. That is...
That's the biggest... That's not a question mark. That's an exclamation mark there. Because it is so worrying to see them struggle on their CT side when they've been phenomenal when they were playing in regulation. Now, Syman look a little bit different on the T side. As I said, their star power keeps chiming in. They keep having everybody contributing to the game. And meanwhile, Winstrike, it feels like the average skill across the board, I wouldn't say skill, but the average performance across the board, it seems to drop a little bit, and they rely more and more on that one player to pop off, and that hasn't happened just yet on the CT side. Even when it does happen just a little bit, where let's say we saw Nickelback get a couple kills, we saw Crimson get a couple kills. Sorry, Lackey. They weren't really able to capitalize on it.
Well, the full barrage of utility going out towards the B bomb site, and Syman, they are looking to enter, but they can still actually move back. There's a minute left on the clock. Kios is waiting and watching for a flank, and they are very committed, flashing themselves in. Nickelback's found the first. Crimson as well, trying to respond, but Neelan and Mo are the ones to entry onto the bomb site, guarantee the bomb plant. Nickelback's grenade will find the kill, but not prevent the bomb from being planted, but Nickelback's not done yet. 3 kills on the board for him. Mo fighting back, but not successfully. Still, there is a Molotov, there is a grenade in the hand of Chaos. This is not an easy retake. Their smokes will be important, but what will the CTs do should they be naded and sprayed down?
Oh, this smoke will be essential because they've denied the Molotov, and the player from Highway will go down. That's the round for Winstrike, and that is one that they desperately needed if they want to get anything done on the T side. That being said, this is such a difficult prospect for Winstrike to look forward to. Not the best of terrorist sides, and they haven't really had that individual power really chime through. I can't take credit away from Nickelback though, because of how powerful he's been in keeping this team alive in this game. Sure, Syman do have the lead now, but it's never too late for some of the Winstrike players to start hard carrying.
Oh, Nickelback's definitely started performing again come the overtime. Now, of course, that just shows even more there might just be a problem for Nickelback to play on the T side. And again, he's a stand-in. Let's never forget that. I will give him an infinite amount rather, of leeway. And unfortunately, that's not true for Crimson, as he does go down to Neelan's early shots. Winstrike, man down, rounds down, and chances are dwindling away for them to get themselves another map point. Kios on the AWP, so difficult to deal with so far, and no reason to expect that to change. Great flashbang comes in, the peak is late, and because of that, Neelan will not get the kill and instead will fall. Smoke comes out to block away Kios' line of sight, but with the 4v4 for the CT side, the T's can look to pincer in and take down Norbert.
They haven't quite committed to anything just yet. Winstrike, at the very least, they were able to pick up the equalizer after what happened early on. For Lackey, his position will be essential, and so will his kill. He's picked up the first, immediately gets refragged by Norbert. Mo needs to be hitting these shots if he wants to close out this overtime. Molotov comes out, that will deny the short ladder push, but Bondic is too quick for it. He will push out through the smoke, but Norbert is there in the front lines. He's picked up Nickelback. Elian isn't good for one just yet. He's coming around the corner. Bondic, so up close and personal, has killed the player in Connector, and Elian follows suit. That just leaves Cade in a 1 versus 2. AUG, no less. That's the weapon he wants, because he's up against these two varying ranges. Somehow is able to turn around as well, and that second kill, how does that happen?
I mean, look at this replay. Just Cade coming in, single-handedly saving the day with the AUG, and that's where the AUG's minute buffs on its unscoped accuracy can actually be quite important when you're dealing with players on close range angles who are maybe a little bit too far apart, so spray transfers and whatnot would in the past not really have worked out, although no one really sprays with the AUG in all fairness. 1 minute and 40 on the clock. Nade to fly through, should be good damage, but unfortunately, doesn't quite catch the timing. And Winstrike down to map points. This is going to be very, very difficult for them to bring it back, especially given their track record on the T side has not been great.
Yeah, the one round they could have pieced together was the previous round, but Cade coming in clutch is very detrimental to the future of this map. Ooh, Nealon's position around the smoke. He goes for the spray. He's able to pick up 2. Doesn't even realize that he's firing away at Prison. But that kill will materialize. Winstrike once again fighting for their lives as Syman just need 1 round to be able to cross the finish line. This is not the final finish line though, because there's still a couple maps to go. Winstrike weren't really favored to win this map regardless, but with such a strong performance early on, we're really hoping to see something a little better. Overtime looking like it is about to end as Norbert picks up the kill towards short ladder. Bond and Kelly and Elian now left in the 2 versus 5.
Now Mo finds 1, finds 2, and that'll be it. 22-19. Syman somehow managed to sneak that map away. It looked like it would be impossible. 12-5 was how Winstrike started things off, and that is just that. With that being said, though, we'll be coming back with the next map. It'll be Nuke. That's Winstrike's map pick. Syman do win out their own, but it is in very close fashion. And let's see whether or not they can put up a fight on Nuke. We'll be back in just a bit.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission.
Screaming, new star! But like Vadic, I couldn't give 2 fucks. A cocksucker hate his face so hard and need a new job. Born an asshole, it was not my choice. Spitfire, deaf bitches wanna fuck my voice. The music starts, turn it off like fuck that noise. Puts a stick like fish, so I guess I fuck that coin. Hitting my pipes, then the blue man grew. Cause I'm doing this shit, don't mean you can't too. Strap it to gap like Cool Hand Luke. Fuck the hairy Asian bitch with it, push it like a Fu Manchu. Bitch, I'll climb a ladder with no hands. Came on your bitch's face, she looking like a snowman. Yeah, I'm living the future, you got no plan. Roll my blunts fucking fatter than Roseanne. Smoking weed, fuck that grand bitch, I got a forest on me. Crew brain dead, we looking like a horde of zombies. Mighty Morphin, bitch, I got that fucking Jordan on me. Buck shots, give me the bottle, bitch, I'm pouring on me. Can't comprehend what's going on, I'm too gone. This ain't my face, bitch, this ugly face is glued on. Bought a 3-time off a fucking Groupon. I'm a broke kid running game with no shoes on. I don't rap and smack my dick on the mic. Sell 500 tracks on me ripping a pipe. Motherfucker, I'm sick on the mic. Get a DP revive when they get spun on some white. Flow rougher than bong hits with no water. How the fuck you worship a book with no author? Killing so much rappers, bitch, this is a slaughter. Anton doesn't tell these daddies to hide their fucking daughters.
Little bitch, yeah, that's you. Heard you got hooked up with a little bit of fame, well, kid, I got some bad news. You fly like a plane, I'll crash you. Run your motor mouth, bitch, I'll smack you. I go ape shit on your wax, you. Throw my shit, pick up my chest like a baboon. What y'all want, a black Jew that rap sings and acts too? Fuck that gay shit, pass through, and y'all facts bigger than statues. School here, this my classroom, but your mixtape sitting in a bathroom. Fuck y'all and y'all values, check a vodka, pop a volume. Value, illuminati, ratchets here to pollute your mind frame, so lose your psychic. Who can I think? I'm here to talk to the music I make, but losing I think. You can kindly suck my dick till shoot the slime, or Brew can fight me. Topping out your bitch with my fresh rare case, you can buy my Nike. Better than me, bitch, that's unlikely. Are you psycho? I might be slightly better picture for the future, so I might decide me. But I feel like I got bitch, I'm Bruce Almighty. I need a love on me, my mind is frightening. Underground bitch, so it's time for writing. Running independent shit, no time for signing. For your running bitch, I couldn't give a fuck if you like me. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not use a hit? Goddamn it, bitch, trying to get the lunatic. I'm a lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic. Lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic. You a psycho, fuck you, bitch, I know. Where the fuck did my mind go? I'm on a tightrope with a blindfold. Running main stage, you a sideshow. Bitch, you ain't big shit, you a silo. I'm fucking like I don't script with a typo. You won't use up and recycle. Oh my god, grab your Bibles. Now all your friends and rivals. That's here when it's coming with a title. Bitch, I've been doing all the shit with my eyes closed. Never ever leaving with a nightfall. Then I'm dancing on the corpse so prideful. Now I'm a idol, it's survival. Fuck beast, motherfucker, I'm primal. I know, embrace the hate. Kill motherfuckers, I erase the fake. And I wake and bake, cause I hate today. Screaming fucking super earth bitch, I hate this place. He's a waste of space. Cut out mundane and plain. I'll be sensitive at the race when I raise the blade. Fill a bucket full of blood as I drain your veins. Can contain insane. You gotta train your brain. If you're aiming at the fame, you gotta change your lane. Play the game. If I hit a one bitch, then just back his fucking face when I play the stake. Gotta cake the snakes. I'm a hungry motherfucker finna take the cake. And a super party bitch, so stay awake. Rappers gonna die back, fly to the top for your place on stage. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not use a hit? Goddamn it, bitch, trying to get the lunatic. I'm a lunatic. Goddamn, I'm a lunatic. I'm a lunatic. Goddamn, I'm a lunatic. Lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic. Fuck, who is this? I think I'm losing it. Where do we not use a hit? Goddamn, I've been trying to get the lunatic. I'm a lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic, I'm a lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic. Lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lick, I'm a lick, goddamn, got lunatic, goddamn, I'm a lunatic, bitch, I'm a fuck. I hope you understand. Shit on the track and I wreck the sound. Getting booty with a band of pirates. I'm a grown ass man, but I act so child. Let's go to sick verse with a blood in my mouth. How about some black hers when I'm talking about? As soon as I arrive, it's a walking back out. If you wanna talk shit, keep my name out your mouth, bitch. What the fuck would you want me to talk about? With your shit, cash in and bone out. Fuck that, that's the shit that I laugh about. Smoke on, don't pass, and they're blocking her. Bitch, that break you like a bitter shell. Deliver this message to dragon, tell him kill himself. Hot box a hollow tree with some killer elves. Fuck a label independent, I'ma keep it well.
Hope you understand.
Fuck is the plan. Got a blunt in my hand. Got a bomb like Japan. I hope you understand. Fuck I'm the man. You don't understand. Hold your hand. I hope you understand. Fucking all black, coming Darth Vader. Swinging my dick like a fucking lightsaber. Pussy ass rapper got him shaking like a vibrator. Other than the ice skater skating on a skyscraper. Mindset of a mental bitch that been cut loose. Kill a faggot with another doing kung fu. Shorty bitch with super stroker full of cum juice. And if you hate on me, then fuck you. Get hotter than the Middle East. I want to major bitch and juices in the little league. Your granny's gonna find your body in a little creek. Hit a blunt, hit a bitch, then I hit the beat. Pockets on hell and killing you, I never speak. Smoking weed in public, crack, never ever tweaks. Squeaky clean weed on me, but I never reek. The first is freak, hot as hell, bitch, you ain't deep.
Hope you understand.
I hope you understand. Fuck is the plan. Got a blunt in my hand.
Hope you understand. Hope you understand. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Better get this bitch like it's motherfucking time to me. They get it in my head for my mouth. All about it means I burned out and ready when you better got some monster trip that got my own ball rolling and nobody stopping me. Spit the raw shit, my saliva must be hot and see the rapping fabricated. Just so hard enough to see the seam started from the fucking bottom. Hard enough to say the least. So I'm smoking weed, bursting off these faggots hate me. Radic, why do you wanna do this? Fucking bitch because I love music. To hate me cause I'm not a dumb bitch. Brainwashed like a trained dog with a fucking chain on my neck. No cage on my head, my patience is left. Underground bitch, so I say that I'm dead. All the way to kill this crazy motherfucking kid. Shoot me in the face and stab a fucking snake in my chest. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Fuck this 9 to 5 shit, it's eating me alive. I'm working away my life, fast, sick by a ride. Got no weed up in my pipe, no money to get by. Someone shot me alive, fuck, I feel like I could die. My limit's at the sky, waving at the game by. These pussy rappers are coming out, talentless and dry. They sell you their lies, bullshit, while you're not your head to buy and buy. They don't even gotta try. Here's a flash and here's a little flicker. Picture a glass, a picture with a little bit of liquor. Put it to your kids and let that bitter mix so they're like a river in your liver. Can they kill it? Are you feeling richer or sicker? Bitch, watch me like my switcher. Watch me with my Richard. I was sticking in your sister. Disaster criticism, I'm attacking with some wisdom. So listen, bitch, before you become a victim of the prison. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. You blind fuckers can't see through the fog. You need to evolve, cause you're fucking crazy if you believe in a God. He's my sign. So is every other false. I have a claim title with a Bible. It's clearly a fraud. Every other motherfucker in the world is flawed, but they still get appalled when they see me as odd. But you know that I'm raw. I just needed the thought. I'm the motherfucking shit from my knees to my jaw. Fucking shit ran and sick of being bitch, and I can take it wicked, bacon, making beats up in my bitch. So will I ever fucking make it underrated with no payment and it's plain days hated all the shit that I'm creating? Smoking weed like I'm Jamaican. Your brain is vacant. You were born to be misshapen. And I'm a pagan, so don't worry about me. Cause smoking my weed, just believe me when I say it. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Don't worry about me, bitch, bitch. Don't worry about me. I'm stuck on my weed, bitch. So don't worry about me, hoe. Misfit, like a fat bitch in a tube top. The asshole in the back of the show, screaming, "You suck!" But like Vadic, I couldn't give two fucks. A cockslapper haters face so hard and need a new job. Born an asshole, it was not my choice. Spitfire, deaf bitches wanna fuck my voice. The music starts, turn it off like fuck that noise. Puts his dick like fish, so I guess I fuck that coin. Hitting my pipes, then the blue man group. Cause I'm doing this shit, don't mean you can't too. Strap at the gap like Cool Hand Luke. Fuck the hairy Asian bitch with it, push it like a Fu Manchu. Bitch, I'll climb a ladder with no hands. Came on your bitch's face, she looking like a snowman. Yeah, I'm living the future, you got no plan. Roll my blunts fucking fatter than Roseanne. Smoking weed, fuck that grand bitch, I got a forest on me. Crew brain.
I found out, so already you're starting to think maybe a third map is in the cards, and I sure as hell do think that, but I still I mean, I've got it down for Syman to take it 2-1, but let's see whether or not they can change my mind and get something or the other sorted out on the T side of Nuke to begin things. Wild 80, as always, is with me.
Not sure if you're happy about that or sad.
Neither am I.
It's a bit of a love-hate relationship going on here.
I think you've
Mostly
got
hate.
fairly... at least you've got one great loving relationship on this broadcast.
Oh yeah. Speaking of loving, but not relationships, Unicorn, which has the most CSGO betting options in the world. Join Unicorn today and you could get 80 euros of bets from a 20 euro deposit. Now that's a relationship I want to have, where I only put in 20 euros and get 80 euros back. Bet on yourself and CSGO pubs, bet on pro teams, or get fresh esports matches 24/7, even when events are offline. Unicorn won esports bookmaker of the year in 2019. Find out why today with a 300% first deposit bonus using code RELOG, RELOG. That's RELOG. Pissed around starting off. Syman on the CT side, Winstrike on the T side. We didn't see amazing results coming out from them on train. Are they going to switch things around though? We know, historically speaking, Syman don't have the best of nukes. And is Winstrike going to be able to capitalize on this? We predicted in the pregame that this could be auto domination coming out from them, but will this materialize? Winstrike making their way towards A. Cade, he's already pushed through the door, but Nickelback is there and waiting. The bomb goes down. Flashbang doesn't work out. Second one will pull through, and now the retake ensues. The aim punch will be there. Nealon picks up a kill. Bondic responds, and that's a 2-for-2 trade. Leaving Mo all alone in a 1 versus 2. Eventually just comes down to Mo falling, and that's the first round on the board for Winstrike.
Well, at least Winstrike do take that one away and on Nuke to start things off. But I thought they won the knife round, actually. Maybe I'm a little bit confused about that, but hey, it is.
Hey, don't judge them. Maybe they wanted to start off on the T side.
Well, I mean, I will judge them if that is true, but I'll judge them off their performance, and that's what we'll wait to find out. Nealon is already dead. Deagles are very nice, but not when they're on the ground next to a dead body. Mo, but in waiting with the scout rifle. Alien is tagged up by that initially. Mo's looking to get more aggressive afterwards. Picks up the deagle as well. And I say that, but he can't really find it. Seems like he does at the end of the day. And is making quite a bit of noise, but I don't really know if there's anyone nearby enough to hear it. Nickelback might have just been in audible range, but we'll have to wait to see as Mo is retreated all the way back towards ramp room, and it looks like they are getting ready for a potential push to be coming in. Krisen and company are the ones who are going to be leading the charge on the terrorist side to go into ramp. They're trying to pincer forward. Mo will get a very nice little tap onto Krisen with the scout, tags up another man, doesn't really want to re-peek here because he's got a second player right behind him, and with the 4 versus 4 ensuing and 2 players being incredibly low, this could be deadly. A Galil will be picked up soon enough by the CT side. It's Kios to get that into his hands, and that could make it very difficult as he gets that first kill, and the second might be soon to follow.
The one lucky thing for them is the fact that they lost a player that was already quite low on HP, but regardless, it'll be quite difficult to hold on to this bomb site up against these 2 Deagles, up against his Galil. They do have armor as well. Nickelback needs to hit these shots. He cannot allow them the free room to be able to maneuver around this. Cade, meanwhile, comes out from Decon, gets the first kill. Nickelback immediately traded out, and they don't have information on Alien just yet. He's coming around from the vents. He's taking his sweet time. Door opens up. He gets the first kill, and he will be closing again, and that means they will not have enough time. Winstrike somehow surviving that off of just Alien having a perfect flank there.
Mo and Kios keep their guns alive at the very least, moving to the next one. Winstrike losing everyone. This could end up being a pretty big advantage for Syman, honestly. given the fact that Winstrike, they lose everyone, so they don't get that $800 extra loss bonus either, and whatnot. I'm not saying it's better that Syman, Syman lost the round, but at the end of the day, you are still also considering... Oh, actually, all that thought. Oh, okay, Bondic's not getting too aggressive early on. You also are considering that almost every single time this situation will pop up, Winstrike will have the better buy. This time, though, surprisingly enough, because the AK and Galil saved, and everyone on Winstrike dying, there's not very much utility, and the early advantage going the way of Mo as well.
Winstrike already losing a player to the hands of Mo. Has yet to lose a single point of HP, and he knows there's a player behind Redcon, so that's already quite a bit of information being given up by a Winstrike. Prison comes around the corner, there to support Nickelback. So play is about to be made here. Winstrike slowly taking control of outside. They're creeping in. Haven't given up the audio cue for the mini player to push in just yet, but with the way Mo is playing, and because of the fact that Nealon is set up, there is no way they should be able to get into secret or even mini without a bit of a contest. Mo starting to aggress, gets the timing right, gets the first kill and the second, putting it 3 kills on the board for him, leaving just Bondic and Alien. And that's where the utility really starts to hurt them, so good observation there to realize that off of the guns being saved by Syman and Winstrike losing all the players, it just means that Winstrike will have that much harder of a time to bring it back.
Winstrike will elect to save these 2 players as well. And, honestly, God bless whoever in the Counter-Strike development team all those years ago came up with the idea. Yeah, T's should probably not get money if the bomb is flooded. Because now Syman can feasibly punish Winstrike very heavily for the next few rounds for saving these 2 rifles. We've only got a $1,900 loss bonus. So it could have been a double eco anyway. Winstrike realistically have to force buy around this if they want to have any sort of a stable buy across the board, but it doesn't look like that'll be in the cards. Oh, never mind, it is. So, off the back of this, Syman theoretically have the advantage for 2, maybe 3 rounds now. They could very easily and definitely should be able to come out on top of the score lines as well on their CD side to start things off with, despite Winstrike getting the early pistol round win.
Yeah, Winstrike, though, they've gotten the opening kill. Bondic has picked up Mo. And with the armor all across the board, that still means that regardless of the fact that they don't have much utility, because they did have Bondic and Alien save up, they still have a bit of maneuverability going into this round, but they will have to win all of these duels. Winstrike taking their sweet time, but Alien won't. Picks up the second kill, and that's the opening that they needed.
Syman are very much being caught out with their pants down, and it's entirely off the... As Norbert as well will fall while he's taking a peek for some information. CTs probably should have gambled when you were 3 versus 5, and Mo dies over there. It's just so sloppy. Mo goes for a wide swing within garage after he's seen 1 player, 2 players, and maybe even the third being around the corner. He falls to that third. As I say, they're just losing CT players all around the board. Kios is good for 2 kills at the very least, but with the bomb being planted, an ace clutch seems to be as impossible as can be.
Yeah, Kios, he picked up those 2, but that's all he's going to be good for. Maybe he can get an exit frag here and there, but what more can you ask? Winstrike, despite their lack of utility, they're still able to piece together a round just off of the picks coming through from Bondic and Alien.
And again, back to the initial point where Mo loses his life because he's feeling really aggressive, and the same spot he got 3 kills in the previous round. Now he just goes and dies early on. Immediately after that, Alien gets caught out as well. And sure, Alien's a little bit more forgivable because you can say, hey, aggressive posturing is needed, you need information and whatnot. But when you realize how weak the Winstrike economy is, letting them get away with this round, this could genuinely be the round that loses Syman this entire half.
Yeah, because this also means that Winstrike are able to get back on their feet in a situation that they very much shouldn't have been able to. It's very similar to losing out up against Pistols because Winstrike just didn't have any utility to work off of. Now Syman, they are able to piece together a buy. They have the AK in their hands, AG in the hands of Cade, and AWP from O. Lacking just a little bit of utility. And that Molotov will already be used to try to deny them from going towards Secret. But because of the Wait's position, Nickelback is still able to creep forward. That timing might actually turn out to be deadly, because since he's able to creep out because of the Molotov, could be a bit of a surprise for the CTs how quickly he got there.
Nealon wasn't really aggressive enough to know about the Molotov's position, to be honest, but that probably shouldn't matter too much. Now, first peek comes in, Keels is down, it's lucky to get that one. Mo will be looking to re-peek outwards, but it's Nealon to actually get a kill around the corner, Norbert as well to add another, and it seems like the CTs might have found some footing.
Nealon almost denied the bomb plan, but it's not going to matter too much. Elian 1-on-4 quickly being brought down. Syman immediately getting back into the game as soon as they piece together a buy.
Well, fortunately, they do prevent Winstrike from continuing what could have been a very ravaging lead that would have been developed. Syman went out a crucial round, but I'm still very... the impact of the previous loss will still be very far-reaching and will likely go deeper than what we expect. Winstrike, in the meanwhile, though, they are on a classic eco round. A few deagles here and there, sure, but that's about as close to a classic eco as you can really get at this stage of where we see Counter-Strike being. Nades fly through early, aggressively, and Nealon, well... he'll try to take some long-range duels against those deagles, generally incredibly inadvisable for good reason, but when you've got Nickelback on the other side, even more so. Elian goes down early on, Nealon at least will be good for that one kill. Can he get more? Doesn't really look like it, but Mo...
yeah, he's just having fun with it.
Yeah. He's a thrill seeker, that's what he is.
He's still going for it too.
Oh,
there
finally.
it is. There's a one
Let's
tap.
call that a one tap, yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you ignore the 32 bullets that he missed before that, sure. That's a one tap right there. That's a textbook one tap.
I do not want to study from your textbooks. Chris in for 1 versus 5, and he will fall. Nothing too surprising there, other than the fact that we do see some incredibly aggressive duels coming out and not being punished. Nealon will, at the very least, keep his AK alive, and the CTs have a pretty good buy, a pretty good base of economy now being built up, while you could say the same for the Ts in a round or two should they win this one. So Ts, at the very least, do have a fair bit of utility. Not quite a full buy from them yet, but still enough that you shouldn't be writing them off at the very least.
Syman, this time around, they're going for a little bit more mid-control. Nealon pushing up close around the red containers. He's able to pick up 2, and that is huge for Syman to immediately get the advantage. Nealon should not have been granted that mobility. Elian, though, he's looking for the equalizer. He's coming around... what's that called? That's lonely, right?
Lots of things are lonely.
Oh.
But yes, that one too.
Yeah, that box is lonely.
Yes, that box is lonely. The single heart on it, while it's all alone.
The color blue on it almost being a metaphor there.
Yes. The regular Picasso made this map, but Winstrike need a bit of a work of art themselves to be able to get away with this round, and that work of art might be a hopping Alan. Okay. Slightly touchy for a second there. Looked like Mo might be able to get the kill nonetheless, but Elian, beautiful angle, and despite Mo holding a hairline, Mo will not be able to get the kill. Elian just continues forward, very aggressive, and the work of art might be coming out just yet.
Cade, his position is essential. He's picked up the first kill. Flashbang comes out as well. He's going to be peeking around the corner, and that is just in time as Amali has knocked him out of position anyway. Missing those shots, though, will mean that Kiaz is left alone in a 1 versus 2. Alien's already picked up 3, so it'll be heartbreaking if that clutch comes through. Kiosk does decide to go for it, slowly moving up the ladder. He's coming through from heaven. It'll be very difficult for him to find these two duels. Spots the first player, Elian now on 3 HP. Kiosk wins out that duel somehow, but now they're both a single point of health away. And as I say that, the nade comes through. AWP should be able to be recovered. And what a play from Kiosk.
And it's all set up of the back of Cade as well, getting quite a bit of damage onto Elian and communicating that over to his teammate. It's very important. Kiosk, honestly, with his utility being the way it was, as long as he took down the rifler, it would always be his deal. And that's why Elian actually needed to be a lot more aggressive with the AWP, and the rifler sort of had to bait him out. Now, obviously, they have no idea he's got the utility, so you can really forgive them for that one. But you can see where sometimes it's not always the correct move to let the lower HP player who has the AWP come out for the second peek, because it can just be too late by then. Winstrike, halfway up ahead. We've seen them get away with something on these lines, but they should still be Syman at the very least, being heavily favored to win out this duel and this round.
Nice Mo, he's picked up the first kill. Molotov rolls out as well to deny them early control. That'll allow him to reposition, and that's still not enough space for Winstrike. The one saving grace might be the fact that Bondik has creeped up so close. But Neilhan, he's going to be wise to their cute little tricks. That was a fun little attempt. I like that, to go for an unorthodox peek by using your teammate as a stepladder.
Well, it's unorthodox, but I'd actually, production, can we see a replay of that peak coming in? Just the way it was shot down. I'd like to point something out about it in a second. While we wait for production to line that up, though, Nickelback will be in the 1 versus 5. He's got himself 2 deagle kills. It's more to come in. Nickelback suddenly, lots of kills, giving us a convincing reason why production shouldn't be showing me that replay and should be showing me another replay instead. 3 kills in succession. I think I know why Nickelback likes going for the deagle in those pistol rounds, but he will pick up the AWP and save, not going for further shots.
If I'm in Nickelback's shoes, I'm ignoring the AWP. I'm trying to line up 2 more, because that's power from the heavens being delivered just for you to be able to get 2 more deagle kills. You know that there's something special about your deagle in that instance if you line up 3 quick shots like that. That was so crispy. Oh, we get that instead.
Do we get it? I'm sure we'll get. Oh, this is from the previous round. Never mind. Never mind. Well, this one was also obviously incredibly important to be able to take that one down, but still, Nickelback, some great shots.
Cade, he got very up close and personal, but he's lost quite a bit of HP to that, and Lackey will be taking down Mo. That puts Cade in a much more pivotal position. Will he get caught out, though? That remains a question. Eventually gets shut down by Nickelback, and it's a 5-on-3. Winstrike already getting the advantage so early on in the round. Outside aggression, previously, something has been that's worked out very nicely for Syman. But when they lose out Mo that early on and Cade is already low on HP, that means that they're not truly able to take advantage of what could have been a very good outside take.
Oh, Nickelback should be able to find this kill as well. It's a great angle he's holding, but in the meanwhile, Nealon will fall. Nickelback, actually, the advantageous position is the one that falls, and Elian now left just eliminating anyone who's a straggler, taking down all the remaining CTs. Winstrike gets themselves to the 4th round, and Syman, despite staying competitive is not good enough on the CT side of Nuke. They're 5-4, and although money's decent, they can buy out. It's getting to a dangerous territory where Winstrike could feasibly get like an 8-7, a 7-8, something on those lines. And okay, so this is what I was talking about. The problem with this boost up ahead that we see in the replay as well is Nickelback's boosting up Lackey, and Nickelback's crouching down. Now, I'm not entirely sure if you can actually stand up as Nickelback. I don't know if there's enough space in that room vertically. as long as the other player has a headshot angle held, he'll still almost always get the kill with the M4 because of the natural spray pattern. Now, Bonding does take down Mo initially, but he's taking a lot of damage for it. But that's a very small thing I thought to point out, which is why that boost is not actually as useful as you might think, other than just for a slight surprise factor.
Yeah, I think in that case, the double peek would have actually come through as a much better option. But still, it's kind of nice to see. Winstrike, meanwhile, they're making their way towards Secret and Nobert. First line of defense, and he's able to pick up Nickelback. He's the one performer for the Winstrike side that has really been going ham. And he's already been eliminated. 4-4, equalizer has come through. Syman, they want to dominate on this half. They've already picked up the first map. And they want to take it on Winstrike's pick as well.
Norbert beats out. Oh, that's you're right. That's such a dangerous feat from Norbert. Nealon, though, with the deagle is also a danger onto the terrorist side. Meanwhile, damage is being dealt, but Krisen is still cleaning things up. Chaos could very much run away with this now that the... Oh, that nade is huge! It'll be denied the bomb plot as well. These last two players just don't have HP. Kios will be able to shut down another one, and it lays it in a 1 versus 1. Elian, yet again with 3 HP, yet again with so much to do, and yet again with not enough time to do it. 6 rounds secured from Syman in a position where it should have been impossible, and the AWP saved as well. What a play from Kios.
Yeah, just taking advantage of the time there and the perfect nade. Everything lined up quite nicely for him to be able to take that round. And you also have to keep in mind that he didn't come out of that empty-handed. Sure, he got the round, but he also ended up picking an AWP before he went away. Sorry.
I forgive you. For now.
Dun dun dun.
Well, early smoke coming out towards the outside area, but Winstrike's not really looking to exploit that in any particular manner. I don't actually know why that smoke comes into his locker room, now that I think about it. By the time they actually enter into a position where maybe they can try to exploit it, they should, that smoke should have dissipated, and indeed it has, so slightly awkward, but still, CT side don't really have much utility to work with either. They are going to have a fairly even playing field as far as this goes. The secondary smoke comes in. Mo, great kill on the Chris, and Norbert is able to follow up as well. And Mo's just playing ground lonely. He sees the head, can't quite connect with it. Instead, it's Lackey who's been tagged down heavily. Lackey can re-peek out though, because Mo missed that shot. And now it's a 3 versus 4. Lackey's position is known, and his HP is not really the best to look at.
He also has to watch out for the garage player that can peek out anytime soon. With his position being given away, Nealon is immediately able to get the frag. 4 versus 2. Winstrike on the back foot now. 25 seconds. Bomb not in their possession. And it doesn't seem like they'll be able to get onto a bomb site very soon. Bondic. Oh, that is so unfortunate. I think he might have actually gotten the drop on a player had he not fallen off in his attempt to come out of the vents. Alien, though, just hoping his best. Hoping to get away with this AWP.
Well, 7-4, and where I said Syman was letting Winstrike stay too close to them, things have changed, and we can see that beautiful replay as a shout out to when Winstrike was having slightly better days individually, even if they did lose this round. Nickelback came through with those 3 very titillating deagle kills. And it leaves things on to Syman in a not an ideal situation. They don't have an AWP out, but even so, should be pretty good.
It's a little worrying for Winstrike because the one time they now have the opportunity to get the AWP, it's off of the back of that save. Which just means that they won't have any firepower to back it up, and they're entirely relying on Alien to be able to get those picks. Lackey, meanwhile, still holding on to an AK-47. That means a little bit of the firepower will be there. Run boost comes across. Elian still trying to reposition, but because of the fact that he's double scoped, doesn't spot the player in his peripheral vision, and that's 2 players for the CT side. Nealon.
Just reload, Nealon. Just reload.
We see this time and time again too. The little firing range going on towards outside.
It's also worked out so often in the favor of Syman, despite one weird little thing coming in here and there, where, you know, Mo maybe overpeaks or something on those lines comes up. But at the end of the day, Syman, now it's 8-4. They've called for a timeout. They realize Winstrike will have a full buy probably without an AWP at the very least. They don't know that for sure, but they need to figure out their game plan, see what they're going to do. It's unlikely that the consistent outside control will continue to work out for them, so they have to be careful.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out too well for them. And while they ponder over what their options are with regards to taking mid, you do not need to ponder over any options if you're thinking about CSGO betting, because Unicorn has the most CSGO betting options in the world, and that's all where you need to be. You can join Unicorn today, and you can get 80 euros of bets from a 20 euro deposit. Bet on yourself in CSGO pubs, bet on pro teams, or get fresh esports matches 24/7, even when events are offline. Unicorn won Esports Bookmaker of the Year in 2019. Find out why today with your 300% first deposit bonus using the code RELOG. That's RELOG, RELOG.
You know, technically, if they have the most betting options in the world,
you would have to ponder just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
something I realized after I said it, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. You know what?
At the
Sometimes
very
these
least, you
things
don't need
happen.
to worry about what website you'll be going to. You can, because those are the fun options. Once you already are on the website, those are the fun options. Thinking about the website before you even get to it, and they're not the most fun in the world. You want to have the guarantee that you're on the best website, and that's what Unicorn is for.
Well, there you go. Now, Winstrike, they themselves have had quite a bit of a time for a pause to come through. Again, they are very defensively positioned inside lobby. They look like they're setting up for some sort of an execute. I'm not sure what Lackey is trying to molly off. That's interesting. K's being heavily tagged up as well, somehow or the other. But now Bondic finds the first kill under Norbert. K's looking to try and refrag one way or another. Bomb can't be planted just yet. Mo's taking heavy damage, and Keo somehow is the falling angel of death. But
no,
he
he's
will
just
himself
dead.
die. Well, he's just dead. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Mo, 1v3. Nothing you can really do there. That Molotov from Lackey was really weird, though. I think that he somehow managed to Molotov hut from that spot. I'll have to watch the demo for that. It was very, very odd molly from him. But hey, always good to see something new come in. Unfortunately for Syman, they don't really have very much in the way of economy to actually help them out after that previous loss. The money from the CT side never really has gotten a chance to build up, and Winstrike can still try and get away with 7 rounds on the board. Nealon, in the meanwhile, he himself has got himself the good old auto shotty.
Syman, they're looking to take it to double digits. But with Winstrike on the case, it'll be very difficult. Winstrike going for a very quick early push. But Cade is able to pick up 2 with the close range 5-7. Trades do come out, but that's quite a bit of damage being done. Auto shotty doesn't work out in their favor, and that's heads being ripped apart. Mo, meanwhile, has gotten the lobby push player. That's a 1 versus 2. Mo switching over to the M4 now has actually put himself in a spot where he could get this retake done, but the damage will come through. They know where his position is, and the best decision to make now would be to run away with the AWP. Ooh, he's actually deciding to go for it, I think. Gets peek there, missing those shots. Now, I think he has the guarantee there that the retake shouldn't be likely, and that is exactly what will happen. He backs away with the AWP, knows that he wasn't able to find the shots on the first 2 opportunities, so he has to back off. Bondic trying to go for the hunt, will fall, and I think Lackey is about to suffer the same fate. Never mind.
Oh, beautiful kill from Lackey to secure that off for themselves and take it out of the hands of Syman. That's going to be huge when you consider the fact that Winstrike, I said it before, that they were very, very close to guaranteeing themselves 7 rounds. Without the off, it feels like it's already there. So, although Syman does manage to find themselves a little bit of form, a little bit of momentum, it just isn't really enough. Winstrike, unless something catastrophic comes in, they shouldn't really be able to get themselves anywhere less than 7 rounds, and that's maybe a bit too much when you're considering it's a T side of new. Now, though, Pistols need to get some work done.
And they want to bring it to 9, but it'll be that much more difficult without having any weaponry in their hands. Winstrike, they're able to clear out garage, so that's so much space already being given to the T side. Syman, meanwhile, they're hoping to play these close range angles. They have the weaponry for it. They have an MP9. Norbert being towards heaven. He will try to play towards the ladder. And this is where they just try to play to the strengths of their weapons. All they can hope for is for what Cade did to be replicated. Just go wild with the pistols. Isolated Bondic, but I don't think they can get anything off it just yet. The push starts to come through. Ooh, Norbert just let them cross towards heaven, and that's the AK being recovered. That could have been the lifeline that they needed to bring it back in this round. They started off with no weaponry, but now they've got all the comfort they need. Bondic in a 1 versus 4, 27 points of hell, just that one CZ going wild. Perfect positioning from Norbert will mean that Winstrike are very likely to lose this round. There it is, 9-6.
Norbert just gave them a free 9th round from his off angle right there. And, oh, yes, this is the Molotov. This molly actually mollies out hot. I don't know how, but it does. And look at this replay from Norbert. Beautiful stuff from him in that off angle. That molly's really cool though.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how it works. Like
does it just clip through the wall or something? Because there's no hole there.
I think it's just like a small bug because of the way the clipping works, but that's
Molotovs are always very weird. So.
Yeah, there's a few spots that we've seen so far in 9 to 5. We also had that weird little smoke that lands on double HUD, I believe, from the actual. Well, there's a couple of weird ones that we've seen so far. But point is, that's a cool one in particular. Nealon right now though down on 21 HP. It's a 4 versus 5, and Elian in the meanwhile will now finish off that kill. Winstrike starting off nicely with a 1-man advantage, but without the kit, if the B bomb site is taken over, it will still be quite difficult.
Ooh, being on the CT side, it's very essential for Winstrike to be able to close out this piss round. Lackey, though, he's getting caught from 2 different angles, is able to pick up 1 kill, tries to turn around and get the second as well, but he does not get that. Nickelback, 1 versus 2, P2K in hand, and he has armor. Has a little bit of time to work with as well because he's already crept up so close, but there's the kill from Chaos. Double digits for Syman, and they will be looking to cement their lead further. They have quite a bit of they obviously have a fair bit of money to work around with, and Winstrike should be on the eco. Or rather, the Deagles.
Well, when you've got Nickelback on your team, I don't blame you for the Deagle buy no matter when you go for it, honestly.
And also Alien with the Scout. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, he's insane. He is insane. And his insanity is reflected in his score because he is really the only person so far who's been fragging on the Winstrike side. The only person who exceeded double digits, and despite that, they're on 6 rounds. So, you know, props to them where you can give it. But Lackey, Scout off his own, will come through with a nice stag, but Mo has also returned that damage. Elian in the meanwhile will find Nealon, and the double scout towards ramp will be incredibly difficult to deal with. Unfortunately, Norbert has found the solution, and the solution is to somehow find his way inside ramp, take down one of them, and give him some money. But in the process of doing so, they've lost a lot of life.
That was so well played from Norbert to be able to come up the ramp. There was no way they were expecting that. And, well, turns out that there is an answer to the scouts there. Meanwhile, though, Winstrike, they've done quite a bit of damage because there's 3 players that have been tagged up with the scout. The one healthy player, Cade, is able to respond from the vents, picks up one, Norbert follows suit, and that just leaves 2 players on the CT side, probably looking to save because, well, they do have armor. And that scout doesn't hurt either, let's be honest.
Yes, it does hurt. It hurts a lot.
Oh yeah, in a good way.
In a good way. No, it's the best kind of pain. Syman, however, are very fortunate that they're able to run away with this one. Considering how low they are on every one of these players, a single deagle shot would have done it for literally all of them, except maybe Cade if he's a little bit too far away. 11th round on the board for them, and let's not forget, this is Winstrike's map pick. This is the map which Syman have, I believe, the lowest win rate on in all of their map pool, if I'm not mistaken, though I might be. I'll actually just recheck that now. Oh, it is. It's a 25% win rate. They've also played it up against Winstrike before, and they lost 16-13. So this could in itself be a very, very big upset to come through should they take it away.
Yeah, Syman are looking for redemption in this case. They've lost Nuke before, and they don't want that to happen again. You also have to keep in mind that Norbert oh, what's this? It's coming around the corner. Lackey is able to pick up Cade. These scout rifles can be very deadly in the right hands, but are these the right hands? That is always going to be the question. So much damage all across these angles. Norbert has picked up Lackey, and he has the bomb control, but this is so difficult for Syman to weasel back into. The bomb is going down, and this is such a tough decision to make.
Nealon left in a 1 versus 3. 2 AKs picked up, and the Molotov from Bondic will be locking Nealon into only having one option, and that option is death. Krisen chooses it for him, and the bomb will be defused. Syman will have a bye coming out of the next round regardless, but what a way for Winstrike to be able to win that one. Great call from Bondic comes out to allow the lobby pincer to come in towards ramp, where they're able to eliminate people one by one. And again, we're seeing what just a few weapons can do if you're choosing unwisely.
You also have to keep in mind that the reason Syman have such a good lead at the moment is off of those individual plays from Norbert to be able to deny them getting the round that they pretty much cut out for them. The fact that Winstrike got so much damage done with the scout rifle, he was able to save that round. He had another round with the CZ75 where he got them the 9th round on the board for pretty much free. So if these individual skills stop popping off, Syman are going to be in for a world of hurt. They are pretty well off at the moment, though, as they have a much better, well, somewhat better weaponry than the CT side, as Lackey is holding on to that Mac 10 that he was able to previously recover from the hands of the dead terrorists.
Winstrike, where is Alien playing from? I'm trying to find that on the map right now. I think he's in hot. I think Alien's in hot. Okay, so that could be dangerous for the T side because they're looking to go in for lobby, but Nickelback is down with the hot flare falling. This will be problematic. Krisen takes away Norbert's life, and one by one the dominoes fall. Although the early advantage goes the way of Syman, the early advantage doesn't mean very much if you immediately after capitulate and lose everyone.
Yeah, Syman even had the weaponry advantage there. Despite that, Winstrike, pretty clean round coming out from them. And this Winstrike, this might be why Syman don't exactly have the best of days whenever they play Nuke. Alien picked up the first kill, and Syman have already lost whatever hope they had going into the round. But it is an eco, so they're just going to give him a bit of a firing range here. Alien having a little bit of fun towards the silo, and Bondic will have his share as well.
9th round on the board for Winstrike, already very well on their way to equalization. Syman, let's also not forget that the last time they faced off against Winstrike, their T side was actually where they had a majority of their rounds. They were only able to get 5 CT rounds, and even in that one, Winstrike started off on their T side. Syman actually got 8 rounds on their own terrorist side. This time, things not quite looking as promising, but of course it's still early days. We'll have to wait to find out.
Yeah, Syman is definitely not out of it just yet, and they've already won the first map, so the pressure isn't quite there. Winstrike, meanwhile, they have been fighting an uphill battle ever since they lost the first map in overtime. But at the same time, you also have to think about the fact that a Winstrike looks so powerful in the first half of the previous map that you can definitely expect big things coming out from them, but big things are what will come out the barrel of Mo's op. He's picked up Lackey, and that's quite a bit of space being granted for the T side to slowly start to move towards the B-bomb side. Bondic, the one line of defense that they still have, swings around, gets the first kill, has the audio cue for the player moving in from the railing. But he hasn't checked that just yet. Norbert comes out on top on that duel, and the bomb should start to be planted.
Good start to the round, but will the retake be in the cards for Winstrike? Bombs being planted for double doors, always a little bit trickier to retake that even if you do have utility, but Cade's positioning is perfect and it should be able to dissuade anyone from proceeding forward. Cade is even in a mood to go for a bit of a hunt, so Crizzen have to be careful that he doesn't just get gunned down in CT spawn. Syman very much are aware of the economical situation of Winstrike being in a very comfortable spot with the past few rounds. They've lost barely any players at all, but they themselves are more worried about their own money and they decide not to go for it. I don't entirely agree with it. I feel like on Nuke, it's a map where you have to really push your advantages on the T side whenever you're lucky enough to get them. So, you know, it's just more of a philosophical difference for me, but hey, it makes sense. You want to keep your guns alive moving forward.
They still did have quite a bit of money, but I still see where they're coming from. Syman, very clean round coming out from them. That means that they will start to build up a blemish of an economy. They have a few $1,000s here and there across the board, but not even close to what Winstrike have been able to accumulate. Nealon getting very up close and personal towards the Vents area. 1-for-1 trade comes out. And oh, look at this position from Norbert. Bondic is not expecting it, but he's still able to flick and capitalize on that whiff. Elian picking up Mo. That could have been the equalizer there towards Lobby, but fortunately that just comes down to Kios being left in a 1-on-4. Bondic, such good work coming out from him, and a bit of an unfortunate miss from Norbert, which could have entirely changed the outcome of the round.
Oh no, Kios will be able to get the bomb plant down. And remember, money's a big deal, so Winstrike letting this one go for free might be a bit much for them. Kios coming in from the side, was hoping to get a little bit fancy with his footwork, but instead he stumbles, trips over, hits his nose, and dies. A bit of an escalation, yes, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. 12-10, Winstrike, of course, already guaranteed themselves around with the early pickups that they had, but letting the bomb plant sneak through when the loss bonus is only 2,400 on the T side, that is something that can come back to bite them, to say the least.
Especially because that makes a world of difference when it comes to the utility. Norbert, Cade, Kios, all completely locked and loaded with all the utility they could possibly want. Head armor and AKs. That's a huge difference that the bomb plant makes. Kios taking a little bit of early damage. And the pace for the terrorist side starts to slow down. They have a little bit of outside control. Well, not much actually. For a second there I thought they might have had a little bit more, but that is not the case. Lackey is about to get greeted by these terrorists though, as they are coming around the corner. He spots them and he makes the wise decision to back off instead of taking the head-on duel, but that also means that Elian has been isolated. He's been moved away from this duel, and the rotations will have to come in from the CT side if they want to make this a little easier. Molotov comes out. That will make the duel that much easier for Lackey, as he's enter use that Molotov to fence around. Nickelback gets to refrag, and the 3 versus 4 ensues. the terrorists, they aren't quite able to get any footing towards B. Such a good play from Lackey, and Nickelback has been impeding their progress quite a bit.
Oh, beautiful shot from Nickelback. Immediately takes down Mo. Right there. That is so crucial as well. If Nickelback had lost that duel, you're looking at a 3v3 where the T's have time to, you know, sit down a little bit, wait for the CTs to make a mistake. Instead, Nickelback is just playing this angle to perfection. Flashes are all dodged and missed. 20 seconds on the clock. Syman stays side, looks flustered, confused, and without anywhere to go, and with 10 seconds left, simply looks like it's impossible. Nealon, bomb in hand, will try to go for the plant, might even be able to secure it. However, Elian in the flank will take him down. Syman really look like they've got no business doing anything on this terrorist side, and you can see why their win rate perhaps isn't the highest. Winstrike, despite having a couple of question mark moments all across the game here and there, have still very much made their way back into it. At this point, I think they're looking to be heavily favored to win this one out.
Especially with the way the money is on the Syman side, and that's where I start to respect the decision that came out from Winstrike to be saving their weaponry instead of going for the retake, because they have banked for days now. They can afford to lose. They can afford to lose around a few rounds here and there, and they will still be good for the next one. Okay, little bit of damage, but that shouldn't materialize into anything too big. What it does materialize into is the equalizer for Winstrike. Good stuff coming out from them. Their nuke looking, well, their CT side looking a lot more powerful than Syman. And that's sort of the nature of the terrorist side, where even if you don't know the map too well, even if you don't have the best of win rates, you can still get something done on the CT side, just off of playing off of the basics, trying to turret your way into a lead in the half. But the terrorist side gets so much trickier on nuke because of how much the timings matter, how much the coordination matters, and if Winstrike know how to play their cards right, they can just dominate. Lackey will be doing exactly that as he's pushed up behind them, and it is a bloodbath.
I think it is a bloodbath. Describes pretty much all of the first minute of how things have been going for Syman so far on the T side. They're losing kills left, right, and center. I am not entirely sure what's going wrong beyond just a lack of preparation for this map, because that seems to be the primary reason for this. But more than anything else, it's just also the lack of depth that's coming in. We haven't really seen them going for, you know, outside control heavily at any point where they're potentially trying to make a play through mini, where they're potentially trying to make a play through heaven. We haven't seen them going for smokes down towards, you know, the good old north smokes where you've got two smokes and for the mini smokes, a smoke in the garage. None of the standard strategies that have become very much the norm in the meta, especially in European and CIS Counter-Strike for nuke. So I will say I'm more than a little bit surprised to see this much of a lack of depth, but Syman, of course, wasn't really expected to be overly well prepared for this one.
I'm a little surprised that this isn't their permaban, especially considering their win rate. Winstrike, meanwhile, they've gotten the advantage, and it's not just the score, it's also the money crumbling for the side of Syman. They have an AK in the hands of Kiosk, but that's pretty much the only firepower that will be coming out from their side. Sure, you can expect a little bit with the Deagles, but that is about it. Lackey, he spotted a player, pushing up close now. Nickelback is there to support him as well. Lackey yet to go down. Oh, what was I saying? Apparently there's firepower for days on the terrorist side. They don't care if they have AKs, but they do now. They're able to pick that up, but Bondik and Elian are still alive. Bondik immediately goes down to Mo as I say that, and Elian will go for the save. At this point, he's not actually trying to save his money. He just doesn't want the AWP to end up in the hands of Syman.
I don't even know about that, because the op in the hands of Syman won't really be able to do all that much on the terrorist side. The trade-off between just a little bit of more damage can be huge. Syman finally are going to be able to get themselves around. Again, though, your point about the money being so good on the CT side is a deal breaker, because if I'm not wrong, Winstrike can literally lose 2 rounds in a row and their money will still be as close to perfect as can be. They'll have
because
a
of
full buy
Alien
regardless.
still holding
because
on to
of Alien.
16k.
No, yeah, that too. It also helps that Nickelback has almost 8,000, so does Prison. So, all in all, this is a situation where Syman needs to win out 3 rounds with convincing results against full buys and full utility constantly. And I don't know if they have that in them.
Yeah, it would be very surprising for me to see that Syman are able to piece together more than what they've already had, and considering the fact that they had a 16-13 scoreline the last time they went up against Winstrike, maybe we're going to be seeing a recap of that. Norbert though does not want that to happen, as he's opened up the opportunity for them. So much damage, but Lackey eventually falls from what seemed like a very convincing round for the CT side, has come down to being doable. Again, the nades chiming in. Bondic has been so good with those. That just leaves it down to Cade, who also falls. Winstrike, such a back and forth round. Syman, for a second there, they thought they could have potentially made it back into it, but with that nade, with that damage, and with all being said and done, Winstrike still come out on top. And at this point, money is just completely a non-issue. Any disadvantage that you have from being on the CT side is completely eliminated. So you've brought yourself back to the old meta where the CT side is heavily dominant. And now, so difficult for Syman to really put together anything.
Nickelback. Ah, man. Lackey's also looking to get aggressive over here as well, so Cade is going to be caught off because of the small gap in the smoke. Lackey can see his feet, takes him down. Syman, they're so close to the finish line, but it seems like someone has started hacking their legs off with an axe.
Yeah, that was around the time when the half switched.
Yeah. After the pistol round and the subsequent round, they really haven't been looking good at all. They were up 11-6. Since then, they've won 2 rounds against full buys. It doesn't look like that should come through again, though. Winstrike 15-13, and I see very, 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 very slim chances for Syman to be able to make a comeback in this. And again, just to remind everyone, this is not the game you expected Syman to make a comeback on, regardless. Nuke, not their best maps. The fact that they're up to 13 in the first place is incredibly impressive from them and shows a huge amount of development as a team from them. But it's not quite there right now. And sure, now you ask for an individual play. Now you ask for one person to step up and say, you know what, guys, we're not doing so well on Nuke. Let me make a play. Let me find a multi-kill. Let me find a few entry kills. And it looks like Mo wants to be the one who takes that initial peak. But unfortunately for him, Elian's already read this. So Elian comes out. Mo's position is known. Elian just needs to scope in and take him down. And that's exactly what comes through. A 5 versus 4 will ensue. And although Kios is able to get that return frag, the information that they have on the T side is very limited.
Bondic, he's pushed up quite close. But Syman, this might be a round that they will be good contenders for. They've started creating some space. Lackey, meanwhile, has taken down Kios, 1-for-1 trade. But Nickelback is to fall as well. And apparently, frags are just flying across the board for the T side. Elian, will he get caught out by this player that is hunting after him? He picks up the pixel peak there, but Cade, good repositioning from him. And had he... the fact that he got that kill there was just something that was very inevitable because... Well, he would have.
I mean, it came down to a 1v1 in all fairness. Yeah. So it could have gone the other way. But like I said before, you were looking for which individual will step up. And it's definitely Cade as he swings out, gets himself 2 kills to entry onto the A-bomb. So not exactly an entry because Nealon's also coming in, but opens up the site for his teammates. And after that, although Alien's good to come in and provide a bit more damage, wreak a bit of havoc, it's just not enough, and Cade is able to get the 3K they need. So again, individual plays, that's what you want to look for when you're in a pickle, when you're in a bind, and they are as pickled as can be without being served up in a Subway sandwich.
Very haunting way to put it. Syman starting to take control of outside. Elian not being flashed off of his position. And just reposition to be able to check the other gap. Doesn't want to take the risk of revealing his position by firing through the smoke. But he should win out this duel if it comes through. Mo recognizes this, will be jumping across, but he doesn't commit. Comes back up from secret. Oh. Man, this is such a teaser. They keep going back and forth. I thought that duel would happen there, but it just didn't. Syman need to be doing something fast because they only have 40 seconds. Molotov rolls out. The flashbang will come through as well. Bonding and Krisen are waiting for this push to come through, but it will not. They will instead go down the vents area, and they will start to aggress towards the B-bomb site. And with that bomb going down with all 5 players alive, this is looking to be overtime. But Nickelback wants to stop that. He's picked up the first kill, and now the retake ensues.
5 versus 4. Syman. Mo up at the ready. Brilliant angle for him to be holding. Repeats up but can't get the kill. The wallbang is just not damaging enough. However, Norbert does finish off Krisen, and Norbert's position is still not known by them. He's able to come through with another one. Kios, brilliantly placed, leaves Elian in a 1v2. He has to save the day, but there just isn't the time. The bomb defuse cannot come in, and there you have it. 15-15. Syman, look, man, I don't know how they do this. I really don't. I won't even pretend to know where this came from, but this was an inspired round where they're able to get B control so quickly. And it's also very different from Winstrike, because Winstrike, normally when you see any sort of B control attempts being made from Syman, Winstrike is very quick to aggress and find kills into lobby and use that as a pincer movement towards the B bomb site to make sure Syman doesn't really have much. Send a player down vent if you need to. They'll win a duel out here and there. And it just seemed like their movements were hyper aggressive the second Syman themselves found any ground whatsoever. That hyper aggression wasn't there now. And I'm going to be lying to you if I say I know why that is, if it's because of the utility, if it's because of the positioning, if it's just because Winstrike got scared when they get to that game point, but somehow Syman are at overtime and I'm not complaining.
That is still a very tough spot for Syman to be in, however, because you saw how shaky their performance was on the T side all across the board, and I've said this time and time again, when you're relying on star power to come through, as the rounds go on, as the overtime continues, it'll start slowly favoring the team that has team contributions all across the board. You can't getting individual performances to come through is not something that can be a sustained effort all the time.
Yep, that is for sure. And Winstrike do have a Krisen who's not really chiming in the same way, but everyone else across the board has been coming around nicely. Technical timeout, unfortunately, some server issues coming in, and we'll be fixing those in just a second. By server, I don't mean our server. Our servers are great. I mean, it's TeamSpeak server, if I'm not wrong, which I might be, which I am very often. That being said, though, overtime comes into play, and Syman, honestly, a single round on their terrorist side would be more than enough for them to have a chance of taking it away. But, of course, naturally, they want to have, somehow or the other, have a few more than just that. Winstrike, in the meanwhile, they have a slightly rough day ahead of them. They've already taken it to double overtime and lost in the first one in a place where it seemed like they had the advantage. Nuke being the same would be heartbreaking for them.
Yeah, it would be very demoralizing to fall twice in overtime, especially when on the first map they had such a good hold over the entire game. For a second there, we thought that it was looking so scary for Syman, and this map shows exactly why. Syman don't look too strong on it, and had they lost out train, I think this would have been a very different story. Syman wanted to close this out 2-0. Despite their shaky run on the T side, they've still managed to bring it all the way to overtime. They're not down just yet. And this is where the weaknesses of Winstrike might finally be exploited. Syman taking their sweet time, but so much utility has already been given up by Winstrike. Look at the smokes there. They only have 2 smokes left, but there's still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, so delaying any push in any circumstance will be tremendously difficult. They recognize this lack of utility, and they will start to aggress for the push. The advantage is there, and that's exactly what they needed.
Smoke comes out. Ooh, Bondic. His positioning was excellent, but unfortunately the punish comes in. The good thing for him is the fact that Mo is not quick enough on the trigger to prevent his teammate from falling, so Winstrike still have an advantage. Norbert's looking to aggress forward in from Squeaky, but with 40 seconds on the clock and his teammates being a little bit far away, he's slightly worried that if he goes down early, the 3v4 being turned to a 2v4 would be too much to deal with. Instead, they've gone down vent straight up. 3 of these players have completely evaded the AWP, and this means it's all down to Lackey, and with the secondary smoke, the bomb will be planted. Lackey's so worried about a peek coming in from either side. The first peek comes in from the AWP, it's just a distraction, and Neelan gets one. Mo comes in with another. Norbert now knows he just needs to stay safe and trade with his teammates, that they have the numbers advantage. Kristen and Nickelback on the retake. Can they move in? Can they get this job done? The vent drop was great, but they need to follow up, and Mo loses his life along with his teammate. Norbert is left in a 1v2. Norbert's not got HP, but Norbert's got the first kill. The bomb is got planted for him. Can he get the spray down? It doesn't look like it. Nickelback will get the job done, and 1v1, he gets it away. Oh my goodness.
That must be very heartbreaking for Syman, because they played that to perfection. They had the advantage. They had everything down pat. But Winstrike somehow managed to take it away in a 2 versus 4 fashion. Just incredible stuff being done. That's still a weakness on the side of Winstrike, however. You can't be relying on these retakes to come through. You saw how good Syman was aggressing towards B, and this is a weakness that Winstrike have started to show time and time again. On their CT side, they use up their utility quite early, and then they're relying on aggression to come through. They're relying on aim duels to work out towards B, and sometimes they just don't have the right positioning already towards B to be able to thwart any push that comes through. So that might be something that Syman can still exploit, but when you're dealing up against the CT side, the second time is never the charm, because they'll be ready for it.
Well, hold that thought. Oh no, that's such a big kill to find. Neelan might have just completely unlocked this from Syman. And again, the numbers advantage this time is in the favor of Syman. So Winstrike will need to aggress forward and make a move. Bondic's looking to do just that, but he's so confused because there's players on either side. And Norbert's ready to intercept. Norbert will take him down. And already 5v3. Kristen can bring it back, but not for long. Norbert's still alive and kicking some behind. Nickelback from behind comes in, leaving Mo in a 1v2.
How does that happen time and time again for Winstrike? They're winning these 2 versus 4s. Nickelback and Elian, such a solid combo there. I'm so surprised that they've gotten 2 clutches, 2 versus 4 back to back. Despite Syman playing everything to perfection, Winstrike desperately want to take it to map number 3, and they've made such a good case for it. Last chance to potentially get around on the T side. Syman, they don't want to be down 18-15 because it's so easy to make one mistake and lose out on the map. Ooh, actually very fast outside aggression, as Neelan has already gotten up on top of the HUD. Norbert getting a kill will mean that Winstrike may have to aggress, may have to push through. But honestly, I'm more afraid of Winstrike when they only have 2 players alive, so this is probably a better position for Syman to be in. Cade picks up a kill. Kios taking a bit of damage towards outside from the leg AWP. But it doesn't come to much.
Oh. Bondic will fall. KDO to take him down. Elian. Oh no, Elian. A bit too aggressive over there. And Syman where I said they needed just one round, it seemed like every single round of this overtime was set up for their success. This one, though, has to be there. Even Nickelback can't save this, although he does get a kill to start things off. He only has 30 HP, so unlikely that there's anything much to do over here other than maybe find some frags, and even that will evade. Syman, 16-17, not terrible, but realistically, World 80, that could have been 18-15.
Oh yeah, but whew. That was something that was supposed to be 18-15 for Syman.
Yeah.
And Winstrike somehow take that away. How do they do that? We'll never know.
Well, Nickelback, that he apparently helps whenever he is coming in, getting multi-kills in ridiculous situations. A slightly whiffed smoke, actually, in the previous round was what allowed him to do that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, towards the main.
Yes. So, you know, small mistakes coming in still, but maybe the CT side is where Syman turns things around and makes us the comeback that they did on Train.
Comeback on Train was great, but can they replicate that? Having gotten that T-side round is going to be essential because neither of these terrorist sides have been amazing. So Syman, oh, if Nealon just pressed mouse 1 there, that would have been very, very nice to see. But unfortunately for him, X-ray is not available.
Fortunately for us. Cage flashed up entirely. Norbert speaking out. Beautiful crossfire will allow Norbert to get them all. Syman, what a setup on that upper bomb site. This is not a meat grinder. This is a factory. This is an assembly line, and the T's are coming in one by one to be turned into food for Syman's players. Elian, 40 seconds. Probably just time to tell his team, guys, what the hell was that? Honestly, Elian, go back to spawn. Talk to your team about this, because this round isn't going his way. 1v4 would be nearly impossible, but 20 seconds left, that's really the nail in his coffin. And trust me, they found his coffin. And unfortunately, he can't even find that initial kill. He'll be jumping backwards. Elian will not find any duels to take. The CTs are not over-aggressing. Syman want nothing to do with this. And they will equalize on a 17-17. I'm sure production has a replay for us from that one, and we'll be showing that later on, because that was a beautiful assembly line. Look at this.
Yep, there's the lawnmowers, and that's the garden coming through.
I mean, dear God, Norbert and Nealon, what a crossfire. Not one you expect at all.
Syman, now they have the advantage. They've equalized the numbers. They're on the CT side, and that's where they shine. Is Winstrike going to be able to close this out? Such a good performance to bring it back on Nuke, when it would be very heartbreaking to lose out in double overtime. 17-17. All the more pressure for Winstrike to try to come back from, and Mo will make it that much worse. The nerves starting to build up, because one more mistake could mean the end for Winstrike. Able to get up secret. Slowly making their way. Look at that. The audio cues are not being given away just yet. They're taking their time. But is Syman going to be ready for this? They have a player playing towards B. They have a player spotting from the double doors. Spots one. He will back off. Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure. Did he spot a player there?
I don't think so. I think we just got lied to by the X-ray. Bondik. Maybe not quite the peak you want to be taking, Bondik. Doesn't turn left, doesn't turn right, just goes straight forward. Look, it's real life.
Good old W peak.
3 versus 5, and the good old W peak is not very good, and not very old as he will die. Nealon will join him in the grave, but Kios is quick to send Nickelback as his escort. 2 versus 4, 12 seconds, and nearly no chance for them to get this bomb plant as Norbert peeks out. Beautiful 2 kills as well to be added. 18-17. Is this Syman? Is this Syman somehow coming back into it? I don't know about that, but they're very close. They're very, very close, that's for sure.
And the way their CT side has been, they have so much control over every part of the map, and it doesn't feel like Winstrike have any answer to this. Time and time again, we see Winstrike able to thrive on individual plays that were made by Lackey, that were made by Nickelback. Sometimes Alien chimes in. Well, most of the time Alien chimes in because, well, he's on the top of the scoreboard. But you can't, again and again, that's not sustainable. And Syman show us exactly why. Their CT side looking so powerful, and they just need one more move of power that will pretty much shut them down.
The move of power is Kios. Kios on the auto sniper.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a power move right there.
That's the ultimate power move. I think he's playing from ramp as well, which makes things very dangerous for him. But Nickelback, very quick down secret he goes. I don't know if Nealon gets audio cues that far away, but if he does, then that could be dangerous. Lackey, meanwhile, maybe wanting to go for the good old ramp pincer, but Bondik's the first one to find a kill. Cade now feels the pressure to try and reclaim that. He gets aggressive. Kios, welcome to the auto sniper village. How long will you be staying? Peeks out again, but Alien has sent him packing. This is not a good guess, and Mo, well, he was not welcome in the village either. 2 versus 4. Cade and Nealon do not want this to go to another overtime, but their desires may not have anything to do with it. Alien, with that 1 kill, may have just sealed the deal.
Yeah, every time Syman ends up on the T side, their future starts looking a little bleak. But Cade is in such a good position. If he can pick up these 2 kills, he might actually net them a spot. But Alien is wise to his tricks. He's ready for that corner, leaving Nealon in a 1 versus 4. And this is almost guaranteed to be a double overtime. There it is. Alien hitting his shots, and the lifeline has been secured. 18-18, but Winstrike still have a long way to go.
You say that, but I feel like they really only have 3 rounds to go before they get to their CT side. And that's the difference that will be crucial.
The reason I say there's a long way to go is because, well, sure, if you're talking about time, not a very long time to go, but because of how good Syman has been on their CT side and the fact that Winstrike, the 1 round they were able to secure was off of individual plays, the CT side is going to be so rough to go up against.
Still, very interesting fake from Nickelback. He actually fakes running into secret, and now you'll have the Molotov coming out. Skate trying to spray through is only good for 1. The spray transfer not quite there, and a 4 versus 4 may seem even on paper, but in practice with the T side, oh, never mind. Kios is so aggressive. He's just going to keep on going. He smokes himself off. That's a very awkward smoke, but he'll try to get a shot through it. A nade as well to fly through. He's still aggressive. He's gone through it. Kios with that pistol. What?
Why would he go for that play?
It doesn't
and why
matter,
did he? And how
apparently.
did he make that look so smooth?
Like, in one way, I sort of get it, because I think Kios had someone behind him. So, you know, when he nades that through, he knows he's done some damage. And, you know, going through the smoke with a pistol, I guess you could say, jumping forward, you have a 50-50 duel. But even so...
Listen, man, he got the round, he got the style points. What else matters? What does matter is that Winstrike have lost. Yeah,
oh,
that.
lucky style points for him as well.
Oh. 2 quick kills being picked up by Winstrike, but Kios will chime in with one of his own. That's the advantage being a little diluted. Kios pushing up in the lobby, almost ready for bonding, but not quite. Cade back. Time and time again, they're able to bring it back, but not quite. They have 2 players on the CT side, 3 on the T, and a minute on the clock. The bomb still not committed to anywhere just yet, so these CTs need to be hitting these shots if they want to take it to 20. But Alien won't let that happen. Just, oh man, this could be so disastrous because Cade has managed to secure the bomb. He already has 2 kills, and he would have to get the 4K to be able to close this out. But he still has 2 angles to deal with. He's not sure if there's anybody coming through, but he has such a good setup. He picks up 1, almost gets the 2nd, but Lackey has something else to say about that.
I don't know how this game will go. I just know I think we're in for 3 overtimes.
I actually think that Winstrike will close it out in this overtime.
Well, we'll have to wait to see, because for me it's what actually worries me a little bit more is that Syman realistically they had 3 rounds that they should have won on their T side on overtime in the previous overtime, so they might actually have found some confidence to go for some sort of these ridiculous plays as well. Neelan initially inside vents is waiting for someone to go for a drop. Kios is aggressive yet again, but maybe he's wise to the fact that he needs to back off. Will be given a chance for a collateral, but can't quite hit it. The jumping terrorist will distract him for long enough, but we'll have to wait to find out as Neelan is moving forward, finds 1, flicks for 2, looking for 3, and he'll connect. Neelan's got the spray of a century, and Elian's got to make the play of a century. Should he want to win it? And that'll be it.
That shot was
Syman.
not supposed to be missing at the hands of Chaos, and I don't know how Neelan does that, and he immediately redeems for the team, apparently. Yeah. The 3 quick kills, I've never seen anything like it. That was so nicely done.
Beautiful individual play from Neelan right there, that's for sure. Oh,
that's
God.
around that Winstrike. They almost had it in the bag to be able to get the Opper so quickly, have free control of ramp. Had they gotten Neelan even off the refrag, even if they lose 1 or 2 players there, maybe they would have had a chance, but just utter domination.
No. Well, will not be given a free duel towards lobby. CTs, okay, CTs fairly heavily tagged initially already. Syman getting some good damage in, and a flashbang to keep Alien off their tails will at the very least ensure a safe passage down to secret for the players who want to go there. Still a lot of control coming in for the T side. I don't know where Norbert got that kill from. I think he just swung out before that smoke popped and took the man down right there and then. And it'll be a 5v4 man advantage for Syman.
That's exactly what they needed. Their terrorist side, of course, it's looked a little bit shaky, but like you said, they've dropped a few rounds before that they shouldn't have, but this time around, they're not looking to repeat that. Nice and slow does it. Syman slowly getting control of the B-bomb site. Norbert taking quite a bit of damage, but look at Lackey. He has all the control in the world that he needs for events.
Oh.
Eventually goes down, though. The bomb is able to be recovered, and that's 2 versus 3. Elian quickly brings it down to 1 as Kios is left on the clutch. He's picked up 1. Can he pick up 3? And with where the bomb is and the fact that there's only 18 seconds left on the clock, I think this will be a very difficult prospect.
Oh, he will be able to get the bomb plot in at the very least. Elian spraying away. Okay, for a second I thought Elian would be eliminated, but that is not the case. 20th round on the board for Winstrike. And I don't know what Syman are doing in overtime, but they get the man advantage on the T side every single time. But it doesn't matter. Lackey comes through with 2 beautiful kills, drops the bomb as well in such an awkward position. Winstrike recovering in a brilliant manner, and unfortunately, Krisen still not really being able to step up to the playing field and frag the way we want him to. Meanwhile, Elian continues to impress. Syman, again, could find... See, Elian's a big kill you need to find, but unfortunately, he's just not losing duels. Most not scoped in onto him. Elian peeks out. Elian takes him down. There you have it.
Yeah, Elian hasn't quite been giving up too much control. In fact, I think he's the one thread that they've been hanging by, the fact that they're able to bring it to the tie over and over. Winstrike really need to be thanking their one lucky star at this point. Kiaz, though, he has eliminated the one crucial threat that comes out from the CT side. Kiaz making his way towards main. 2 players situated there, one playing from the bomb site, one playing up close. Such a tough spot for the terrorists to be in because they only have 50 seconds on the clock. And should they decide to go towards A now, they will have to deal with 3 players. Bondic pushing up into lobby. I think his position will be expected, but the bomb is there and the bomb is dropped. Bondic knows there's another player around the corner, and the smoke will be there to make it that much harder. But Bondic has been traded away. Comes down to a 2 versus 2, and there's 30 seconds on the clock. Bomb recovered. Kiaz gets spotted out by Krizen, who isn't able to pick up the second kill, and it just comes down to the 1 versus 1. The CTs, Nickelback is the man that they want on this job, and he'll be the one that's alive. Has as much utility as he could use, and it just comes down to the aim duel now.
Norbert creeping around on the prowl. The duel's coming in. Nickelback will not come out on top. Norbert gets proactive, gets himself the 3k they needed. Can I just say, I'm sorry. Was Kios opping in heaven?
Yes.
Krizen gets that kill. Kios has the advantage, but he scopes forward and he gives away his information. That's fine. There's no worries about that. Kios doesn't check the exact spot where Krizen got the kill from. And he dies to him. That should not have been
there was a bit of
2.
miscommunication there.
I don't really know how that happens, but hey, they're fortunate enough to get to 21, and I think it might just be 22. Early advantage is there. They need to overwhelm Elian first and foremost. Elian sees a shoe, but he's now revealed his position, and with that, a smoke comes forward. Norbert gets 1. Norbert gets 2. Norbert might just be the savior, and Nickelback, as much damage as he has done being the stand-in, it is not enough. We go the distance 2 times over, 3 overtimes per map. 42 rounds in this one, 41 in the previous, a total of 83 rounds for 2 maps. And Syman are able to take it away in 2.
What do we even say about that? That was so nicely done by Syman.